Yay! Good evening and welcome to the Doom City of Granitegard, our weekly live play fantasy adventure here on the Guardtower Presents. Every week we have a episode on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we upload that week's episode to the Guardtower's YouTube channel, typically on Fridays. For all things that are Doom City of Granitegard related, come visit us at our Linktree page. I know we've got it up there on the screen, and we probably have it popping up in the chat, but for those of you that might be listening, that is linktr.ee/dcog. Again, that is linktr.ee/dcog. I only said that, messed it up. Anyway, but yes.
You're gonna give me.
On that, you can find links to the Guardtower's YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as finding everything as far as our social medias go. And X or Twitch or whatever everybody's calling it now. Either way, I get people yelling at me. So there's, par for the court. What? Twix, whatever it happens to be. Yes. Our Patreon and Discord channel. So come and see that as well. We'd love to hear from you. And tonight we have our music provided by our friends over at Pocket Bar. If you haven't already downloaded that, we definitely suggest you pop over to either the Apple App Store or Google Play and download it today. Bring some amazing music to your own table and some magic to your adventures there. If you like role-playing games like we do, we encourage you to stop by the Guardtower's either east or west locations and check out everything they have available there. You can find a community of gamers that are looking to play with you. You can find role-playing games, strategy games, card games, dice galore. Pop on by to see that. And nice tower there you've got.
I'm trying to get it into frame eventually.
Keep on stacking that up.
It would be a shame.
You can't see. You've got this nice table. So
It is completely
you can get that up there. But yes, you can also find everything that the Guard Tower has to offer by visiting theguardtower.com. Again, that is theguardtower.com. You can purchase all kinds of games that they have, and you can also, again, meet up with their communities there to find gamers in your area that are looking to have adventures with you. I don't believe I've got any other major announcements or anything else like that going on. So nothing from you on that, Roger?
I actually do have one small announcement.
All right, take it away on that.
Percy, I believe in you. That is all, Will.
We believe in both of you as well. Fantastic. I guess who's ready to throw?
It's a whole bit throughout the episode. Don't give it away.
the secret.
All righty then. Let's jump to our intro. When we get back, we'll do a quick recap and then get into our game tonight then. So see you here in a few moments, and we'll throw some dice.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent. And like a siren's call, fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls. Daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals. With no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard, plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the north hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
just have a strong
And
match.
hi, welcome back. So again, we'll do a quick recap and then we'll jump to tonight's episode. Last week, our party had a bit of a crisis of conscience, I guess would be the way. Damon was quite candid about the fears that he had that the party would be facing in the future here. Starting off the obvious issue with King George, would King George willingly relinquish his claim to the sovereignty of Granitegard, or would he be just one more enemy added to the ever-growing list that once he discovered Vahn is still alive? And that also brought them to wonder about the Concordance involvement in all this. How would the Concordance react once they discovered that there was a competitory claim to the throne of Granitegard? And with more soldiers arriving every day, our former allies in the north seem to be making their moves on Newtown and the holdings there in Granitegard. So pretty sure those guys would possibly be an enemy as far as Damon was looking at on that. Now, not only that, more than ever, they realize that the Way is not just a threat lurking in the background. Apparently, it's making its presence very well known. And with the warning that they had from the Grey that Sep was certainly on her way, with murderous intent for the party, it's only a question of time before that becomes a very stark reality for them. And with all of this, looming like a shadow, is Melisendis, waiting for them in the city of Granitegard, her plans unknown at this point in time. Now, the party wrapped everything up in Newtown, and then they headed over to the Guardtower, the Garrison Tower, and at that point, they were looking to kind of relax a little bit before they gave their first jaunt, possibly into the city of Granitegard itself. And where we had last left off, the party had all been enjoying wonderful, nice, relaxing baths, everyone except for Ehko, apparently, on that, and Sky. Skeech, were you also taking a bath that evening?
I have trauma when it comes to water, so no.
So, so both Ehko and Skeech remain quite stinky. And so...
It's my natural musk.
He's that natural musk. That's, oh my goodness gracious. So, again, this is where we pick up this thing. So, Vahn, you were the last one done with your bath at that point in time as you're telling off. What you do notice is that you see Damon very quietly moving across the back of the room over to the ladder that leads up to the observation deck here at the top of the tower. And very quietly he makes his way up the ladder and slips out.
First of all, I can't help but appreciate the fact that I think Damon may have been trying to go somewhere stealthily, and I noticed it, and I feel quite proud of myself first. But then I think back to what's been going on the past couple of days, and I would prefer if Damon wasn't alone, especially if they're planning on skedaddling. So, finish drying off appropriately, throw some evening wear on, and after I go.
All right. What you do is you walk over to the ladder itself. You see that the Reverend and the people are involved in a tense conversation about magic. He seems to be probing the Kobold for more information, how she's able to cast these spells that he doesn't seem to quite comprehend where they're coming from. You can see that Maery is off in the corner right now. Looks like she is really, really deeply in prayer at this point in time. But outside of that, you're not really paying too much attention to what's going on. Can you make your way to the ladder and up?
I think there's some strange peace that Vahn has as people are just going about casual things they'd be doing regardless of the fact that we're heading into the city the next day. So there's a pause at the base of the ladder as people are just enjoying the night, mostly clean or reveling in their musks.
There is some musk revel. Yes. Up the ladder you go to the trapdoor, and as you push the trapdoor open and you step out into the night, first thing you notice again is that way up top here, the view is absolutely fantastic. You have the entire caldera visible to you from the top of the garrison tower here. You can see thick clouds racing above overhead, points in time blocking out the moon. And as you gaze out towards the city of Granitegard, there's that perpetual mist or cloud bank that always seems to obscure the top of the city where the mesa is, running along the top of the city walls. So you can never really get a clear view into the city itself.
It's funny, as a child looking out from my own room, it always felt so protective. Any threats that may have been coming towards the city, I felt safe,
The
protected.
skies were much clearer back then, as far as your recollection goes. You don't ever remember that heavy cloud cover as far as that goes, and the temperature up here is quite cold. Given the top of the tower is about 200 some odd feet into the air, the wind, there's a stiff breeze blowing. You could hear it in the background. You can also feel it kind of cutting through in case you didn't bring something to keep yourself warm. It is reminding you every moment that you're up there that it is very brisk. As you are looking about, you can see that Damon is out looking towards the direction of where Newtown would be.
Are you thinking about leaving, Damon?
No. I just needed to clear my head.
It's a little bit brisk for evening walkabouts out here. At least go for a walk down below.
Oh, I also wanted to study the crossbow that you gave me.
Oh! To be quite honest with you, I don't know what much more study you need. You seem to have been quite adept at it whenever you rescued us from certain peril.
Oh,
in
well,
that
I just
place.
wanted to see that because it has a single bolt. I wanted to see if I'm able to shoot through multiple enemies and then pull them closer to us.
Well, Damon, that's brilliant. And a moment, and I immediately go back downstairs to get the bolts that I did not bring up with me.
Got an extra jacket or anything to keep yourself?
No, and this is exciting, and this is something we're going to build something. I come back up with my crossbow bolt case, which you probably seeing being opened for the first time because I've used the singular kind of like skeletalized wood every single time, rather than any of the more traditional, if you will. And I just kind of say, well, how many do you think you'll need for practice? And I just like hold it out.
2.
And I just take out 3, just for good measure.
All right, and I'll take the 3 of them. With this crossbow, am I able to attach a bolt to the bolt with the rope so I can shoot through multiple enemies and then pull them closer to me?
Unfortunately, there really is no way to do that with this.
Ow!
As you go and fiddle with it, you would not be able to launch the bolt that actually has the piece that they would adhere to. You would have to either clip that off and attach something else.
I feel if only we had some type of very powerful glue.
Follow-up question.
I always love follow-up questions.
How sharp is the single bolt already?
The single bolt is not very sharp. It's actually almost like egg-shaped.
So we're gonna need glue.
Some sort of explosive.
Oh, well, I don't know where to get any glue.
We don't have any on hand, to my knowledge, but to be perfectly clear with you, I believe Skeech has become remarkably adept in their creations. I wouldn't be surprised if they might be able to whip something up. Maybe it would be best if I asked, though.
Probably so. I'm pretty sure I made Skeech quite angry.
Skeech feels power in everything that they feel. It may behoove you to directly apologize to Skeech if you do not wish to find rats in your bed.
Yeah, I figured the rats in the bag were for me, other than enemies.
I do believe they're for everyone, but maybe first.
Yeah. I did not mean what I said about Skeech or Yip Yip. They're very important in that their names matter. They matter. There's only a couple things I said that night that I truly mean.
See, Vahn kind of like leans up against whatever like raised parapet there is around this space a little bit. Oh,
What I said about you, and what I said about the Reverend. In the sense that you both rush into danger without thinking of yourselves first, and you're going to get yourself killed. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what that is. I'm not equipped to understand it, but I noticed that you do get more hurt than anybody else on the team.
well, you're not wrong, unfortunately. But I'm not going to apologize for what it is that I do to make the rest of the others feel better. I will continue to throw myself into harm's way if it prevents others from suffering that same fate. That's the responsibility of individuals who care and lead others, to take the pain so that it does not fall onto their shoulders.
Yes, but if you die, then who will Newtown have? They can't have George.
They seem to be quite happy with George currently.
Yes, but George is a puppet. George is not in charge, it's the Concordance, and most likely the Way is working their way there too. I'm not saying stop what you do.
I know.
Just remember that Newtown needs you, we need you, and I need you.
There's like a little bit of a wry smile that comes up on Vaughn's lips. If I didn't know better, Damon, I would say that you're going to like us. You enjoy
Don't read
being with us.
into it. A little bit, don't tell anybody else.
My lips are sealed.
Ugh.
But if you humor me for a moment, I do have a few questions of my own. I'm not asking you to share all of your business, all the stories, the life that you led before this. But I believe I've asked this once before, and I'll ask it once again. Is there anything else that I, or the rest of us, need to be aware of as we journey further into the city? Things of your past that may come back for you and vicariously for us.
To be honest, I'm not connected to the city. I'm not from here. Way is my only connection. When I say I did some very bad things, I mean I did some very bad things. I am probably their most wanted person ever.
Your past is your past. I'm not going to ask you to relive those memories. All that I ask for is moving forward. Well, if what you've done for us, with us, thus far is any indication of your loyalties and, I guess, where you believe your correct next decision lies, and I say we're going to be just fine, Damon. But I will keep your secrets.
Please.
Well, to be honest, are you actually going to practice? We could go down. There's targets down below.
Oh, yes, actually, I would love to.
I'd like to get dressed, to be quite honest with you.
Fair.
Kind of like starts heading back down to go change into like actual clothes to go do some target practice outside.
Keep on the bunny slippers, though.
Yeah. Always. They're actually toe socks with grips on the bottom.
No Crocs. yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's impeccable fashion sense there. So, as the rest of you go about doing your things, you hear the trapdoor open again, and down comes Damon and Vaughn, kind of palling around a bit there. There's a little bit of laughter kind of exchange between the two of them. Almost some sort of strange little buddy thing happening. Out they go from the top of the tower, and they're heading downstairs. They look like they grabbed more bolts for the crossbow there.
Yeah.
And so, at this point, is there anything else you all are doing right now? Skeech, I think that you were working on something, correct?
I'm working on many things, but as I see my best friend and my worst enemy having a great time. After I pick up the pieces of my heart, I watch them like leave, and I turn to the only other person who's not busy, to Ehko. I go, "All right, you watch the door and don't say anything. I'm gonna go get the bag of rats.
Oh my
I'm gonna go to
goodness.
Damon's bed.
I stare at the door intently.
I'm just gonna open the bag of rats.
You get the end of Damon's bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them under the covers. Say, all right. Let's go and get real comfy. And I want to.
Do I notice this happening? Because that's my bunk bed.
I would say go ahead and give me a what is your passive perception on that?
My well, it's not good. 12.
12. Would you guys like to stealthily do this, or are you just going to do it blatantly?
Well, I assume since Echo's got the door, Sky has got the rest of the room. So I think I'm covered. But
Go ahead.
I am trying to be fast and sneaky.
Yeah, go ahead and I would say give me a stealth on that with advantage.
Can I argue sleight of hand?
I will give you sleight of hand on that. Sure, we'll go with that with
Roll for
advantage.
rats.
That's gonna be a 17.
What was yours
That's
again?
my
12?
roll.
12. Yeah, you're not sure what Skeech is doing in there.
And if I have time, after observing the kobolds in their natural habitat of trapping everything, I want to take a charge of that flash powder I used on Vahn and get it right under there. So when Damon goes to bed, it's gonna be bright light and then rats. That would be ideal.
Give me another sleight of hand, please.
Sure. Still advantage?
This is just to plant it at this point.
Okay. 12.
That's enough.
This is gonna wake me up too.
So it's not loud.
There you go.
It's just bright. The screaming might.
So out the door, the two of you come,
God, no.
and Skeet seems quite pleased with himself right now.
Sleep like a baby.
All right. Anything else you all are doing this evening? Am I looking for? I believe. Yeah, Mary, go ahead.
Well, I think I've been praying, so I was just wanting to know if I got anything from that.
You wake. No, wait. You come out of your prayer feeling very, very at ease. That you know that something is coming around the corner, so to speak.
Okay.
So, like,
Oh,
you feel that your prayers have been acknowledged.
okay. I would like to go find Vahn.
All right. So you head on downstairs.
Just popularity.
Yeah, I'll just ask around. Has anybody seen Vahn?
They end up pointing you out to the courtyard, and it's not too hard to track them down. It's relatively late in the evening at this point. There's not a whole lot of things going on out here. The campfire by Gildan's is very quiet at this time, and on the other side of the courtyard there of the garrison tower, you can hear this whack. Oh, good shot, and two of them kind of bantering back and forth about that. Vahn saying something, maybe passing on some advice on the crossbow, and then Damon acknowledging that. And as you walk over, you can see the two of them. There's a target that's set up, and they're practicing with the crossbow there.
Hey,
Just one moment, Damon. What's up?
I was just wondering if I could have a moment with you when you're not busy.
Do you understand the last part?
Yes.
Well, I'll be back. Let's go. Like leaves my crossbow, and you notice that it also has still loaded into it the more ivory bolts.
I can come back if you're in the middle. I mean, I don't want to interrupt.
No, I think this will take a little bit more time. Again, and like continue to go through like the 7-step process that he has given you to accurate shooting.
I've got it.
We'll see. Yes, we have time.
Okay. So I kind of like walk you to a more isolated area.
Are you interested in crossbow lessons as well?
No, actually, I just wanted to get something off my chest. Vahn, I feel like you haven't been entirely forthright with me. And look, I understand that you may have everyone assured that you're completely fine and everything's hunky-dory, but I'm not completely unaware of blood magic, and I see the effects that it has on you, and I need you to be straightforward with me, Vahn. And I draw Zone of Truth.
Oh,
Are you dying?
shit.
The moment that she mentions blood magic, the first thing that comes to my mind is the conversation that I had with Skeech and how there is multiple versions of this. And I want to see if I can get an insight to see if I'm dealing with someone who is dabbling in the wrong version of this, who is trying to call me out on this. Don't think it's gonna do it with a 3.
Your only thing you're able to really pull off of Mary is the deep concern. You can look into Mary's eyes and see that she's almost tearful in the fact that of the concern and the worry that she has for you. As far as what her understanding of blood magic is, you have no idea on that. You're almost distracted by the overwhelming love this person seems to have for you, like in this short period of time that like she practically is welling up as she's talking to you.
Do I recognize that the divine spell has been cast?
Yes, that she's tracing it out. I mean, she's not making it. She's not trying to disguise it whatsoever. It's obvious what she's doing, because obviously at this point she is also affected by it as well. So it is truth back and forth.
Is this really necessary?
It is absolutely necessary.
Well then yes, I am dying. So are you. We're all dying, Mary.
Vahn, that's a cop-out, and you know it.
I do.
I am your healer.
And you find yourself in need of forcing kind of gestures around to like the runic sigils around us floating this to have an honest conversation.
Yes, because the last time I brought it up, I didn't feel like you were honest with me.
What is it that you're seeking from this, Mary? You want me to say that I don't have all the answers? You want me to say that I have literally no idea what it is that I'm doing? And I have no idea what happens tomorrow morning when we leave this place? Because if you want me to say that to you, well, I just did.
I want to know that if you're dying, that saving you's gonna be on our agenda.
I don't know, Mary. I can't answer that question. I was told there's a price to pay. My mentor, Thresh, is dead, strung up in front of his cabin. Tortured, mutilated. That may be my future. I may drop dead tomorrow morning. The next time I invoke and pull on these powers that I hold to help you, I may draw my last breath. And I will still do it.
Don't you think you should at least
I
inform
think
us?
about it every time. And me telling you, what will that change? The way that you think, the way that you hesitate, the way that you make your decisions as to what is Vahn going to do next. I need you all to be thinking straight.
And I need you to be around.
Then take care of me.
How can I do that if you're not honest with me?
I've told you everything now.
Now?
Anything?
With this zone of truth, yeah.
Again, thank you for this. This is certainly how I like to share my inner workings.
This is coming from the person who said they wanted truth.
I do. And I know when
Except when it comes to you?
I know when it is right to hold things from people.
Hypocrisy.
He would hear this probably throughout the courtyard. He's not trying to resist.
At this point in time, David hit a double bullseye. And he turns around, he's all smiling, he sees this rather intense conversation going on. Like, oh, awkward?
I'm just gonna turn back.
What was step 5 again? Sorry.
Oh man, what's that list?
It's written on the back of the crossbow.
You feel?
If there's any possibility that I could help you, I have spells. I have removed curse. I have.
This is no curse, Mary.
Then what is it? What do you need?
It was a choice, and I am paying my price actively.
No,
You
there
want
has
a
to be
simple
something.
answer. There are no simple
I'm not
answers.
asking for a simple answer. I'm asking for honesty. I'm asking for you to help me help you. Give me an opportunity.
Have I lied to you yet? Ask yourself this. You've asked me the question, and I have given you the information that I have at my disposal. If you want more than that, then you need to seek a diviner.
Vahn, I've already lost my mother. I've been alone my whole life, with the exception of my dad, who's still missing. This is the only time I've ever felt close to you. You are invaluable, Vahn. Not just you're supposed to be the next king. What good are you to anyone if you're dead? You always throw yourself in the front of everything. You don't let anyone take care of you.
There is like there's a cutoff. There's a cutoff in the middle of like your last sentence as Vahn just kind of like runs up and like embraces you in your tears, and you'd hear in your ear, "What good is a king who places his own needs and desires over the individuals that he serves, Maery? You know my secrets," and he kind of like lets go just a little bit, so he's still close, looking eye to eye here. "I don't want to die, Maery." But he looks towards where the direction he knows they are heading towards the city, towards Granitegard. But none of us are sure what comes tomorrow.
But you make it sound like you're dead already. Like there's no hope for you.
There's always hope. I'm just wise enough not to grasp for it.
Well, I'm not. And I will find something. Maybe we can talk to the church. I can find something. But I need to know what we're up against. I need to know everything that you know.
See that he kind of takes his arm, which typically has the buckler, which was kind of made by Skeech, taken from some of the gauntlet of Sir Gendron, and you watch as he takes it off, kind of moves it down a little bit, and you see that in his palm, currently, there appears to be something that looks very similar to a compass rose, and you would see that it's like undulating, pulsating a little bit, and you would watch as the same thing which you're accusing him of actively right now, tendrils coming down of his veins. You would watch as he squeezes his hand tight once, and when he opens it back up, you see this kind of like floating sphere, not too dissimilar from whenever you've seen him cast his arcane rays, but it's translucent. He says, do you know what this is?" And he like kind of goes into this thing where he's like going back into the teacher mode that he was just, and you would see that there was this kind of bouncing, almost like an actual compass point direction here as it spins around. And what direction is the ogre?
At this point in time, he would almost be due east of your position.
It says, "Maybe it will help you to see why I do this if I explain why I do this. Those creatures fled from us." He like moves his hand different directions, and you watch as it always points the true direction towards it. I know where they're at. I can see them. I can feel them. And he dismisses it with a little bit of the blood droplets falling off to the ground. "I do these things because I couldn't save my family. I do these things because I wasn't strong enough. I was whisked out of the citadel like a babe, with my nursemaid carrying me through the debris, unconscious, a single blow. I awoke. Gendron was gone. They were all gone. I trained for nigh a decade with the Rangers of the North. What was I to do? So I sought something stronger. I made my deal. And I appreciate your concern, and I know it comes from a place of care. But your reminder of the decision and the price that I have paid will not unwrite it. So please, do not make me second guess the decision that I have made. But I will not stop you from looking for some type of assistance." He finally kind of takes a step back, looks around, and then attempts to break the tension. Is there anything else that you desire from me while you've got this up?
No.
Kind of looks around the courtyard. Other people milling about, doing work.
What you see is that there are two people look like they were walking out the front door of the garrison tower there, and they're both kind of frozen at the door, like looking at each other quite awkwardly at this point.
I'm gonna try to make eye contact with them. I believe you had something you're working on?
Well, we're going to go to the latrine, but
On your way.
okay then. And they just quickly scurry over to where the latrine is. Crikey, don't get her mad. She's a feisty one.
Before, kind of looks back around to where Damon is still practicing. Maybe
I'm
I hope-
ignoring both of you. I have my back turned.
Yeah.
This is very nice.
Wow. Yeah,
Like, I can't help but imagine that at least he points to the two walking off and Damon are aware of our conversation. Do you think it necessary for you to share this with the rest of them? Because I personally think it will just change the way that they operate. And I need them to make decisions for themselves, not for me.
Well, I think that it would be nice to know that you're dying before you're on the ground.
If I'm not being perfectly clear, I don't even know if that's the case. The price can be many things. I'm making an assumption. I shouldn't be doing that. In fact, it goes against everything that I typically believe in. And he watches, he kind of like goes through this moment of cognitive dissonance. It's not logical. But you know, is that not enough?
I don't know, Vahn, but it feels hypocritical to ask people to divulge all of their background and information to you if you don't do the same.
Do you think that's true? Do you think that everyone has laid everything on the table?
I don't know, but I think that if you're requiring that,
I'm not. I require nothing of these people but them to be with us.
you
to
have
be here.
asked that of people.
And the need requires it in the moments of time where I feel like there are things that are going to be used against us. Not their personal business.
I felt that as your healer, I should be aware. And if there's something that I can do, then I would do it. If you don't want anyone else to know, fine.
You misunderstand not wanting people to know what is wrong with me with fearing how it will change their behavior. I'm doing this not out of selfishness for my own well-being, but out of the fact that I think it will change the way they make decisions. If them knowing causes them to leap in front of me to help me to stop me from doing something, they put themselves in danger. This is a lesser of evils. I feel like you, of anyone, would understand this.
I understand your train of thought. I do. And it's noble. You can't help people if you're not around. And I think that it's going to do equal harm for us to watch you go. And I don't feel like you're taking any of that into consideration.
I've given it a great deal of consideration, Mary. Great deal. We don't have to agree. That's not the point of this conversation. But I need you to understand.
I understand.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have this strange feeling that something is going on with rats and something upstairs.
Well, we should probably attend to that then. I'll come with you.
This could be trying. Are you sure?
Yes.
I have something to wrap up with Damon here. I'll catch you upstairs.
As you break off from her, and Mary heading back upstairs, for a moment, as you're walking towards Damon, you catch a bit of motion on the corner of your eye. As you glance over, in the shadow, you see a smiling face. And it looks like Thresh, and then it's gone. And all you hear in the back of your head is this tick-tock, tick-tock, sure. And then it's gone.
There is it's like that moment where you're standing outside of a door and you know that you have to face like the rest of the world on the other side. Like there's like dread impending. And then it shifts back. So what step are we on? What have we improved?
I think I'm on step 7.
That looks very much like step 6B, but continue.
How many steps are there? What? You said there were 7. Now there's like A, B, C
the
parts of
7
it.
main steps, and I pull out the accordion. The
Why
step
do you
steps.
have this?
Well, I wrote it on the way downstairs.
Okay. All right. Let me see it.
So, a short time later, Damon and Vahn return from their excursion outdoors. Maery, you're back up with everybody else at the top of the tower. Skeech is sitting by the fire, seems to be quite happy. For the first time in quite a while, he seems very relaxed and happy. Ehko is sitting there petting Sky.
Can I actually do something?
Absolutely.
The art of confronting people.
Yeah.
I would like to find Anna and Reverend.
Ooh.
Not too hard. They're right up here. Irvin has finished his conversation with Yip Yip, looking
I just finished
a
my
little
bath.
frustrated that he can't pry any magic secrets from the young kobold.
I mean, it's just so nice to have an evening where nothing's happening and you can all just relax.
I got to watch a door for an hour.
No.
Very peaceful. Like it was just me in the wood.
Yeah,
That
just
must have been
right
really
there.
good for you.
I actually, I had something I wanted to ask you guys about. So
Of course.
I feel like this is a nice moment where we can relax and reflect on what's happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually realized today is my birthday. And I don't know what that means.
Wait, what do you mean you realize that today is your birthday?
Well, I got a hold of a map from one of the, or a calendar from one of the cooks, and well, I actually don't know if it's my birthday, but it was the day they found me, so
Oh.
that's just kind of when they celebrated it.
Oh, wonderful.
But I wanted
So
to
it's
know.
your gotcha day.
Yes. They didn't call it that, but
Yeah.
but what do people do for that here?
Oh,
Oh,
well,
it's
I imagine that my birthdays when I was growing up were a little bit different from yours, Anna.
a little bit. Did you only have 2 cakes? Like how many?
We didn't have a cake.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Actually,
not
that's not true.
Just-
One time
just the pies.
my daddy stole a cake
Oh,
and brought it back for my birthday. It was the greatest thing I'd ever tasted. Then I asked him which bakery he got it from. He didn't want to tell me. I figured out that he'd stole it, but I didn't ask anymore after that.
yeah. Well, you did have a cake though, so that's good. That
Yeah,
one
the
time. Yeah.
The one time.
The one time.
Then after I left on my birthday, I always buy myself a cake because I didn't. Because I didn't have anyone to celebrate with. But that's not here nor
Can I
there.
ask a question?
Yeah.
What does the cake have to do with growing a year older?
I think that people just really like cake. And
Why
it's
wait
a-
for your
Yeah,
birthday
and it's
or
like-
gotcha day to
Well,
eat
it's
that?
like layers of a tree, you know, layers of a cake. Like as a tree grows, it gets layers. And
Well, I don't get a
cake,
tree every year.
and then
just
they
'cause
would-
I survived.
no. Well, we would just
You
always
have-
add a layer. yeah, like
Wait,
okay,
are you
yeah.
telling me you had like
You writing that down?
6, 7,
No, I'm
8
tracing.
layer cakes?
Well, I mean, you know, of course.
I don't know.
Oh,
Cake and
naturally, naturally. I mean, like you know,
Pictograms.
things would changed after the fall of Granitegard, of course. But yeah, before that, but yes, Ehko. Usually, cakes are a traditional way to celebrate.
Okay.
And usually everyone would get together.
Oh.
And
Well, we're all together anyway, so it's perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry, Ehko.
Yes.
Anna and I waxing poetic about our own childhood.
Yeah,
this
but-
this is your day to
Yes.
celebrate.
Mhm.
I'm really sorry I didn't get you anything on account of I didn't know that it was your
Oh, it's
birthday.
okay. I didn't
Because
remember
you
either
didn't
until
know
just
that
now.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like we should go find that cook and you know what? We'll be right back.
Yes.
Okay, I'll watch the door.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, keep watching it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go get this cake. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta get him a cake. How old's he though? How many layers?
Well,
What if
maybe-
we just
2 to
just
some-
2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Since
Yeah.
we've known him for like
Down to the
it's been
kitchen, you
like 2
guys head.
months.
Exactly. Yeah. It's our gotcha. Yeah. Our gotcha.
You get down there, the two
Yeah.
cooks are cleaning up the kitchen from the evening's wares, and they are bickering back and forth about the merits of buttercream at this point in time.
Perfect.
Hello there. Could we trouble you for a little while?
Well, it depends what kind of trouble.
Well,
It's of the utmost importance.
not the kind of trouble I usually get into. Actually,
We're
we
going
want
to
to do
kill somebody?
No.
No.
Oh, good, because we're not really. He wants to be a dancer, and I'm still looking to be the confectionery master. But I mean, it's not killing, so it's good, right?
Yeah.
I got something for you to practice. We need you to make a cake.
Buttercream.
Well, what do you think? What kind of cake was?
I think a
Your favorite.
buttercream. Oh, buttercream. You can't
Buttercream,
go
I
wrong.
think, yes.
Yes, but with some sort of different filling on the inside.
Feeling.
Like
Fruit.
jam, confection. Yeah.
He likes probably
Oh,
any kind of like berries. and
yes,
stuff
berries.
to shove in there.
berry themes. Berries everywhere.
Berry
Yeah.
themed and,
And if
berry
somehow you can
themed.
incorporate trees into the design,
Maybe
trees, you want-
bark
or-
in the batter.
or mountains, yes.
You want mountains in the cake and trees.
Just maybe in the decoration or
In the decoration.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How fast are you looking to have this done?
Well, how fast do you think you can do it?
The two of them look at each other. 3 weeks tonight.
3 weeks.
Well, that's the two answers that you get, and they look at each other. Tonight, 3 weeks. And they kind of exchange back and forth again. They're like, as fast as we can.
Okay, tonight, please. And we'll, consider it part of your training, like some sort of like fast, like chopped. Oh yes.
I was thinking nailed it.
We're actually keeping one cook. So there will be 2 cakes made
Only
tonight.
one of you will be moving on.
I'm sorry, you are not Granitegard's topic.
Are you saying this to them? Or?
No.
I don't care.
Above.
You know what? I tap him on the shoulder, and I like, you know what, my friend, you do your best. And I give him body inspiration, which, by the way, is now a D8.
For the 8-layer cake.
For the 8-layer cake.
You turned 8?
As far as we know.
As far as I remember.
All right, and they begin their work, and they take off very frantically, moving about the kitchen, much clattering of pans. You can see them pulling out all kinds of ingredients, and they look back at you like, "We're gonna watch."
No, they got it. Just deliver it up to us when
Oh.
you're done.
Leave
Absolutely.
masters to their work.
Yes, yes.
And as the door closes, you can hear the argument just beginning to start as the door closes behind you to the kitchen.
Okay. Step 1, cake. Should we get Ehko presents?
What do you think we want? Like some, especially pretty moss or something?
Oh, that could be really good. Maybe, I wish I'd been collecting dirt from all the different places we've been, because I feel like some sort of like array might have been good, but maybe I can make him something out of the cloth that I got from Gildan.
I have to be really honest. Being thoughtful is not really one of my strong suits. So
It's
I
all
don't
right,
really
I
know what he
understand.
likes. He likes to climb.
He does love to climb.
He likes
All I can imagine is you all building one of those cat things.
Yeah.
Echo tree.
the reverend is like trying to think of like what Ehko would like, but it's like a child trying to figure out what they would want for someone to want for their birthday. It's actually they just get what they would want.
Yes.
So I'm like, I think he would really like. I think he'd really like a new potion bottle set. A shiny jacket. No, wait a minute.
Oh, I mean,
Am I anywhere near this?
As they're actually not, you guys left the room to go down to do this?
yeah,
or-
we went down to the kitchen and we're on
Unless you
walking
follow
back
them, of
up.
course,
Yeah.
they're having a conversation. I take it you're out in that circular portion just out in the hall there, right?
Oh, honest, Mary's really nice. Maybe she can help.
She could figure this out.
Hey,
She's
hey,
had
Mary.
birthdays. Yeah. What's up? It's Ehko's birthday today, and
Echo's birthday.
it's Ehko's birthday, and we've already gotten the cake squared away. But we're trying to think of presents. So we have dirt. We have like maybe a handkerchief from.
Let's make him a
cloth.
terrarium.
We have a terrarium. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. Yeah. Fantastic. What's that?
So it's like this, tiny little. Usually they're like glass, see-through, and you like create a whole scene of like the forest and stuff, and it's kind of like a little ecosystem at your disposal.
Oh,
That sounds like exactly what you would want.
Yes.
It would be like a little world. Carry him with him everywhere he goes.
Maybe
Well,
something that reminds him of home.
Make you put him in his room or something.
yeah,
right?
we could.
Here- Oh, I have just think. And I reach into the bag of holding and I pull out like a very large glass jar
Yes.
that I definitely stole.
As he does so, all this glitter comes out with it. It's just all over the floor right now, and 2 scrolls drop out as he does this. Covered in glitter as well.
What is that?
Nothing. And then
It doesn't look like nothing.
I slip them down into my
Slide
sleeve.
slide of hand, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, hey Mary, what's that behind your ear? I prestidigitation a coin behind your ear. Look at that.
Sleight of hand on the scrolls there, please.
Do
I roll also?
Sleight of hand. 13%.
13 deception. Your perception.
10.
10. Yep. Somehow, like he actually literally like pulls it open, shoves them down, and you're like, "That was a coin behind my
wow.
ear."
That's a great trick.
Yeah. So anyway, I got this very large glass jar. I didn't really know what I was gonna do with it, to be honest, but it just looked like I just had to have it. But it's got glitter on it, so I'm gonna clean that off real quick. As for the floor, no, I had some pizzazz, so we'll leave that there. But here you are. And I think all of us could go around and gather something that could go in the terrarium that reminds us of Ehko.
Okay. I'm
But
gonna.
we'll do it very quickly and explain what it is very succinctly.
Yes.
All right.
It's going to be so speedy.
At this point in time, Vahn and Damon have come back in, and as they're walking up to you, they kind of stand by you, and obviously there's some commotion going on right now. Reverend's holding a large jar. He and Anna and Mary seem very excited about something at this. So what are you all doing?
Sorry, this was very important.
I'm taking one of my my tokens and I'm kind of like whittling it a little bit. Whittling.
Why are you saying it that
Into
way?
what?
Whittling. Well, you find out.
I am eager to see where this is going.
So am I going first then, I guess?
Well,
Yeah.
All right. So what I've done is I've taken my token of Meliki, goddess of forests, and I kind of try to sort of carve it into like maybe I added some moss on the top, like it kind of looked like a little miniature shrine, and I'm gonna put it in the terrarium.
Cool.
Yeah, that way he'll. Well, don't worry about my graven images that I got there, Mary. Just pay no attention to that.
I'm gonna go run outside and find like little, like some tiny branches off of like evergreen trees, so that in the tree they look like little mini trees.
unfortunately, there's really nothing like that.
There's
over-
no trees around.
Not on the base of the caldera. It is wide,
Trees are a
flat,
figment of
open.
imagination.
How close is the nearest
They work
tree?
together.
For what you want to do, you would have to go all the way up the switchbacks, all the way down the road to the Traders
Days
Road,
away, Barry.
and then and like
I
it's
got
just
you. I got you.
this area has
Okay.
been
Got
cleared.
Okay.
I mean, you can go out and try to find like some emaciated, nasty-looking.
How about a mushroom?
There's shrooms around. Yeah, there's things rotting. You can find a nice mushroom.
Okay, I'll take a little tiny mushroom and I'll just keep in my mind to look out for trees whenever we come across them.
So you find a mushroom.
Okay. Is it tiny?
Do you
Yeah,
explain
it's
what this is
it's
to it?
Yeah, we're trying to like
it's a small little mushroom.
make
and
it a little. It's like a little world.
It has gray skin.
Do you get
The
you
top
dip
of
an
it
eye
is
in
orange
on
with
this?
these little
Oh,
purple
everyone,
dots on
everyone.
it.
Even
Oh,
Nick.
so you went upstairs to go get us?
Yeah, go. We got a special task for you.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's
I'm
go.
down to do whatever. Today's great.
Don't worry, Echo. This has absolutely nothing to do with what we talked about before. So
Keep
just
looking at the
keep
door.
looking at the
You
door,
see
Echo.
there seems to be some arcane field around him, like a bubble of some kind,
Yeah.
and he's looking at you like he just can't hear you at all.
I saw him writing, and I assume it's witchcraft. So
Yeah.
I figured we should go.
So what are we doing?
Down the stairs you go to where the rest of the party is. You can see that at this point, Vaughn and Damon have tracked glitter all over the place. Mary's also got some tracks of glitter as she ran off to go get the mushrooms. Yeah, the
Reverend,
glitter you left on the floor.
can you carve a tiny dog?
I'm not that good at it.
Roll for
you
the
just-
shrine, please.
What?
Roll for the shrine, please.
Oh,
Sleight of hand.
I usually just make an illusion of something and then it
That works
disappears
for
after
me.
I leave. So, because I don't care.
Oh, you're just gonna make an illusion of it?
No, I care about Echo.
Okay.
I tried really hard. What am I rolling?
Sleight of hand on that.
Oh, great. That's 17.
17. You impress yourself. Fortunately for you, there was a bit of a tree on it already, kind of carved around the bit of it that it doesn't need to be there. And pretty soon after you stick that little chunk of moss in there, it looks quite nice, like a shrine would be. Mary's mushroom complements it real well when she sticks it in there. Although they both kind of fall over because there's no dirt or anything to hold anything
Yeah,
up.
I was about to say, you guys didn't put dirt in there. I thought we did have dirt.
no. We were just talking. We were saying that we
Oh,
were
you
going
did.
to get dirt.
I'll go get it. And she's off. She's off to go with a little bag that she pulls out of her bag to go get dirt.
Well, I have an idea.
I'll go down with Yip Yip, and I want to look for a big old piece of granite.
Echo
Yeah.
loves spider milk, and we have spiders down there.
Oh.
One spider.
I don't know about that one.
Could you get like a little tiny?
Well, we need to, I mean,
Do you?
Yip
will you-
Yip would be the one to ask.
Well, you get to choose. I'm afraid we don't get to choose if we find a small spider or a big
No,
spider. if we
not
go
in
down
there.
there.
No, not in there. Like a regular
I can
size
make a
one from
big
the
spider.
corner over
I
there.
don't think we want to open that can of worms.
No, it's
or
spiders.
closet of spiders.
There's
We don't want to open that.
many spiders in here.
Can you catch us a spider for over in the corner over there, maybe?
I mean,
Off you go,
I
Ski.
guess.
All right.
Let me
It's
know
your
when Yip,
idea. You got to do it.
let me know when Yip Yip gets back with that dirt. I got another one.
Does anyone else have anything that they want to add here? So,
I don't know if this like necessarily fits the terrarium energy that we're going for. And he runs back up and he grabs like his kind of like the little like more of like a little catch, if you will, where his book and a few of his alchemy pouches are, and he pulls out one of the spikes from the basilisk tail. And he says, I feel like Echo would appreciate this. We hunted this together and like
That's
an
so
offering to him.
cute.
put it in there. Boop. All right, so we've got some dirt. We got a little shrine.
Got a nice chunk of
mushroom
granite.
tree. We got
It's a mountain.
got a big granite mountain. We got a little spider to hang out in there.
Yes, Peach comes back from poking about and has a
Fix it.
spider about yay big.
Come here.
Is it dead?
No, it's biting me.
Oh, it's far from dead.
What do you want me to do?
I'll open the jar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have it.
All right. And for the finishing touch, and I'm gonna pull out a
Oh,
bomb.
God.
Are we gonna?
No, you always do this, okay? Like
Yeah, because it's bomb.
yeah,
I don't think Vahn reacts anymore.
it's not primed. I'm not gonna throw it. No, it's one of those bramble bombs.
Oh.
And I'm gonna crack it open, and I'm gonna empty the potent fertilizer and the seeds inside.
That's actually really smart.
So cool.
They're seeds?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll grow little. What will it grow?
Well,
Pine trees.
Pine.
since- I mean, they're thorn bushes, but they should be small. I didn't include all of the fertilizer.
We could
so-
use our imagination. It looked like a pine tree.
So if we watered it, they'll grow.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to Echo's present?
I'm going to produce. It's like a little like dog made out of like collected Sky's fur.
It's felted.
Yeah.
That's so. I
Oh.
love that.
Damon would felt.
Put it in. Put it in. Put it in. Grab it.
It's just
Did you
repeatedly
make
stabbing.
that?
Yes.
When?
Just now. You were all talking.
We all contain multitudes.
I think it looks great.
Okay, here. Here.
Poke holes in it.
No,
Well-
then the spider will live.
No,
Seal that thing.
but I think if it's got, I don't see. This is a question for Echo. I think if it shouldn't it like keep itself going if we did it right. We probably didn't.
Well, you have to make sure it gets water and stuff, don't you?
And shake it.
Don't shake it.
Oh,
That's his job now. All right.
We can bring it up to his room.
It's our present to Echo responsibility.
Great, you got me a chore.
You know, he had someone that took care of him. Now he's got someone to take care of.
It's symbolic. Yeah, we're demonstrating our trust. Vaughn, just go with it. all
Hey,
right?
I am here. I am with this.
All right, who wants to give it to him?
Why don't we all give it to him?
Well, you can present it to him. All right.
and you
Then
said
I
this
go
was
over and
your birthday.
tap him on the shoulder.
What's a
And-
birthday?
Completely silent in here. And we step outside of it and just
Why
immediately
can't?
back-
What?
Sorry, I was working on something.
I told you he was a witch.
That's a neat trick. But hey, Echo,
I got a thing.
check out what we got for you.
Surprise!
Happy birthday!
This is for me?
Yeah.
What is it?
We put dirt in it.
It's a thing that most of us, not named Mary, learned about an hour ago.
Yes.
Thank you.
A self-enclosed environment, and we put things in there to remind you of home.
There's a spider in there.
We didn't have many spiders at home, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, everyone
There's
put a
also
little.
a little fake sky in there.
I see that. They made that. That's
David
actually
made
really
that.
David made it.
Made them.
No.
No, David didn't do that. He made it.
Are you trying to lie to me?
Yes.
All right.
Spider-Man pointing.
We're outing him right now.
I'm gonna roll with advantage. 13.
I also got a 13.
Now beats it.
Roll again. Man, I rolled the same thing over and over. 12.
Yeah, no, you beat me.
Okay. Damon, this is actually very realistic. You got the teeth pattern exactly right. I don't even know how you did that with fur. Well,
Secret talent.
If you didn't have many spiders back at your old home, your new home has a spider basement, so.
it's kind of like my past and my present are joining together, and it's presented by the people who are a part of it. This is
That's
honestly the most thoughtful thing anybody has ever done for me. So, thank you.
that's so beautiful, Echo.
So can someone tell me what a birthday is? Or a gotcha day?
Yeah, I wasn't curious, but if anybody wants to tell us, nice.
So it's a time when people celebrate your presence in their life.
We always celebrate it because it meant you didn't die in that year,
Yes.
which is very common.
I suppose you never celebrated a birthday either.
Oh, no.
I'm assuming not.
Do you want it to be your birthday too?
No, that's okay.
Do you
It's your
know-
birthday.
Do you know when you were born?
I was born in the
Oh.
winter.
Not you, you did.
I know when I hatched.
That would be the same thing. I think.
Right. Yeah.
When did I hatch?
About 12 years.
Does Vahn have a calendar? I assume you'd be the one that would be most likely to have a calendar.
Do you do this every year?
If you're interested, goes back to the rest of his books.
Well, I just thought maybe since we're picking birthdays, we could just go ahead and designate the two of them a birthday.
Give me a second. I can go up and grab my stuff.
I think it's been about 26 summers now.
26 summers.
Oh,
You're old.
yes.
It's been 13.
Skeejar, are you the oldest one here?
Wait, are you guys not that old?
No.
I
Oh,
don't know if we've ever actually talked about this.
well, yeah. The only one here with a beard. I just figured.
See, Vaughn kind of touches his face, almost like
Yeah.
like jealously.
had
Oh no, the Reverend does not have a beard.
yeah, I
Joe
had
has
the summer before Granitegard fell. So that was a bit more than 13.
At this point, you can see the mathematical equations popping up on his head there, just running through, like, so you carry the 4. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been about 12 years. 13 years since Granitegard fell. Yep.
No, it's been 12.
Yep. That's what I said.
Well, I wasn't here, so I mean, I'll take your word for it.
All right. A little bit later, as you all are continue discussing when we were born, there's a knock at the door, and the 2 cooks are wheeling a cart with this silver platter with a lid on top of it. Like, we think we got you on this.
What's that?
And
Get me cake.
I give them each a
Of
gold
course,
piece.
Ehko.
they grab it. They both look at each other with this guilty look on their face.
Oh no.
And they're like, okay. And you see him take his hand off the top of the lid thing, and they both, all right, you have a good night now. And they go out, they close the door behind them, and they can hear this as people are moving very quickly down the stairs.
And you said the value is based on how many layers it has?
Oh, well, so that was just to correlate with age, but since we just wanted to make sure you had something tonight, we asked for 2 layers and for them to decorate it with buttercream and to add berries. So that's what they were trying to make. Let's see what they actually did make.
Let's see what you came up with.
Had to replace the flour with cricket meal. Just a challenge this week.
So you pull the lid off there. It is definitely a dessert of some nature.
It's a cake.
What is that?
It's about yay tall. You're guessing there's probably 2 layers, depending on what they've done in there. There's the buttercream icing around it. It looks like they tried to incorporate that earth and twig thing that you were talking about for the icing colorations, but unfortunately the browns and the greens kind of mix to create this vomitous camo look exterior. And there's a bag there. There's some plates and some forks, and that's what you can see at this moment in time. What's inside the cake, you don't know quite yet.
It looks like I once was at a art museum to the west, and it was an artist who kind of just like threw paint at the canvas. This is what it kind of looks like.
I think it's beautiful.
While they're
Alright.
talking, Yip
Yeah.
sticks a finger out the
Tradition that the birthday person gets the first slice.
Wait. Pulls out his book. He rips out one of the pages. He folds the piece of paper into a cone, seals it and crimps it, and places the cone atop of it.
What does this mean? Am I king?
That means that you are in charge for the night.
I am king.
Tonight you are king, Ehko.
I don't know what to do with that power.
Your first
You eat cake.
your first order of business is to get yourself a slice of cake, and then
I pull out my sword.
You're supposed to use small tools for food.
Why, it's a
Not-
large cake.
I've worked as a
You still use
diplomat a
small
couple
tools.
times. I think the first thing you should do is go mad with power.
It's a bad thing. That's my birthday.
Ehko, it's your birthday. Use whatever math you want.
Okay. And
I'm
I
not gonna get you.
Roll to attack, please.
Oh. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought. 14.
14. All right. Well,
Thanks, how many
the cake-
slices?
Yeah.
it is
Pull up your stat block.
it is a sword, and it's designed more for hewing limbs and causing
So is the
massive
cake
trauma.
vulnerable to splash?
Oh, the cake is extremely vulnerable to most kinds of damage. Yes, you do end up hacking the cake up so that people can have their pieces, but as you first slice into it, the custardy interior with the berries goes squirting and blasting out the side. And
It's like right at eye level.
yes.
Yeah.
And as you continue to hack the cake, by the time it's all done, a lot of the icing is now kind of mushed into the cake material.
Perfect.
The custardy interior is kind of mushed in there. It's more like a pudding, like a bread pudding at this point.
I flip my shield around and scoop up all the cake remains and just start handing out slices. Like it's on a plate.
Is
There
it even
no
slices
hesitation.
or is it like
They're not
crumbled?
It's more like
just
it's more like bread
bits.
pudding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no hesitation. Just like grabs it by the fist. Yes, my lord.
My first order is you shall eat cake.
Don't have
He just grabs it in his hand and
Yeah.
starts eating it. Is it
Okay.
good?
Despite what it looked like and what it ended up getting turned into, it is very delicious. It may not have the texture and consistency that they had brought it up in, but it's still, the flavors mingle together and they're acceptable.
I don't even have to chew this, Echo.
This is fantastic. This
This
might
is
be some of
really
the best
good.
birthday cake. Yeah.
I've never eaten anything that tastes as good. Yeah, thanks. And he doesn't say much, but deep down, this is like the happiest he's ever been.
I've got like a fistful for Sky. Just like, here you go.
The guy is not only licking it out of
Making
Keisha's
sure there's no
hands,
chocolate
she has
in
then
it,
worked her way
right?
up and begins
She's
licking
immune
the
to
stuff that
chocolate
squirted out on
damage.
his face, and she's licking that off and licking out of his beard and out of his hair. Her little tail's just wagging right now.
I don't think
It's a good puppy.
anything could ruin this night.
Do not say that.
I think you're right.
With the DM,
I think this night's
Pass that
totally gonna
opportunity
get
up.
better.
rocks fall.
So very quickly, may,
Speech is like wide-eyed, like
may I interrupt
Jack Nicholson face. Just,
to argue for
camera
something that
pans into
happened
our
earlier?
faces.
They deserve inspiration for that.
I will handle and address that at a different point in time. Right now, we are going to continue play, and we'll talk about inspiration.
instead, they got birthday cake right now.
Yeah, right now we got cake. So,
Inspired.
that's kind of how your evening ends up going as far as the cake.
Does your
and
kid get the zoomies? Like 12-year-old on cake.
As it grows later, the sugar kind of impacts you, and you're all
You had
kind of
your
feeling
birthday.
tired. It is about bedtime at this point. Everybody's kind of gets cleaning up and heading into bed.
I'm gonna stop yip yip as everybody's getting ready for bed, and I'm gonna be like, watch.
Watch what?
The show.
Okay. I hope you know she's
All right, well, Damon.
still is like covered in cake.
Damon, it's time to turn in for the night. I hope you have a good restful sleep. I'm gonna climb up to the top of this here bunk and I'll see you in the morning.
Do I hear the rats? Do I hear the rats?
You hear
Oh,
Go ahead and make a perception.
oh, is Reverend a honk shoe,
I'm a
not a honk
too.
me me me?
Yeah, I'm a honk.
We saw.
Got an 8.
You have an 8. There appear to be no rats in your bed.
Gosh. This is it.
Oh god, this is about to go horribly.
I'm gonna take the L. I'm gonna pull back the cover.
It's a flash bang, not just flash powder, right?
No, it's just flash
Okay.
powder.
At this point, which makes the rats panic, and they begin scurrying every which possible way. And being rats, as rodents do tend to panic, your bed also gets a little bit moist. They've also apparently been chewing on things in your bed while they've been waiting. And yes, they scurry off into who knows where at this point.
Happy birthday!
And I scurry under a bed.
I think
What
it's
just happened?
Each, you see the rats beneath there looking out the same way you're
I
looking
open
at
the
this
bag.
point. Right back in.
Yo, Damon, I don't know. We're having a party, but it's time to go to bed.
Woke up the spider.
Is this a part of the plan?
Why are you under my bed? That one's you. Oh, this is your bed. I'm so
Sorry, I like slink out of it and go back under mine.
you see Vahn is sitting cross-legged on the
No.
bed.
I'm like halfway across the floor.
No, what you don't understand is that she's been following you around because you're like, watch this, watch this.
He
Yes, no,
stifles
you
a
saw
chuckle.
it. We're done now.
Okay.
We're being split.
And like, I assume after the initial shock, Damon is trying to kill me with his eyes.
Yes.
Like, the invisibility now.
Okay. He's not visible.
Gone.
I'm pretending to sleep and like not see any of this, but actually I'm reading my scrolls.
Doors like opens and closes real quick.
Trevor's got a little nightlight there underneath his cover so you can see what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I'm not sleeping in that, so I'm gonna sleep in a chair, I guess. I don't know.
Well, if you come out of the room, look, remember the giant double bed has not been recycled. It's just sitting off to the far corner of this
Skeech
room.
also never uses his bed.
I was
I'm
gonna,
not sleeping on your bed.
I was gonna say,
Your loss. Bad
the
boy.
fact you got off the bed and Yip Yip was still awake, she was like, "You can have mine."
No, and I just walk over to the other bed.
You go lay down on Theot's bed. and
Yeah,
sleep?
sure. Let's have some nightmares.
Oh, it's a nice feather mattress. All right, and that wraps up
Live goose.
your evening for the night. All of you take your well-deserved rest. You get a long rest, so you recover your hit points, that sort of thing. And welcome to level 7.
It was the cake.
It was the rat.
Yes.
The rat.
Echo's Echo killing the cake. You know, it's that last little bit of experience.
One
XP in
XP. Birthdays are always level ups.
Yeah.
So
Just-
let's go ahead and take care of our hit points, and we'll start over on this side of the room, and we'll look over at the Reverend. So, Reverend, go ahead and roll your hit points.
Please, one God, you know I have 0 constitution. If you could see it in your infinite wisdom, I rolled a 7.
Hey.
Oh, that's
You're rolling a 7.
Can I roll that too?
yeah. Okay.
Do we all get 1d20?
Only if it's your
birthday.
This is my first day playing tabletop RPGs.
That's okay. I feel the same way sometimes.
It was a 2.
It was a 2. So, what was the die that you were rolling? Okay, that's
D8,
there.
so I take 5.
Yep. So you're at 42.
Plus your con.
You're as much as Skeech was before you leveled up. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the birthday boy.
Bump my HP,
All right.
though.
Are you guys starting to realize that, like, if you blow, like a strong breeze might harm me?
All right, I will
What
take
about a
the 6.
swarm of rats?
All right.
That brings me up to 62.
And go ahead and roll for Sky.
Oh yes, I get 2 rolls at this.
Because it's your birthday.
I'm not rolling that die again. It gave me a 1.
Sad birthday.
That birthday. That's better. That's an 8 for her.
Happy
Okay.
birthday.
So it's 63, right?
Oh wait, I should have 64 HP, not 62. And she should have 55 plus 11.
Plus,
So 66.
the dog's got more HP than us, Revy.
All right there,
More than
Damon.
me too.
Dog. The dog. What the dog do?
Oh man. 7.
7. So what is that? Is that 54? Do you have any Constitution bonus?
That was with my
Okay.
Constitution bonus.
So 54, right?
Should be. I'm bad at math.
Ruby. Yep, yep.
Well,
It's average. That is a +7 to my HP for a
61 total, right?
that's more than the dog.
56.
Yeah, 55,
Addition's
right?
hard.
56.
Addition is hard.
No, I'm at 54 right now.
You're
So
at 54?
54 plus 7.
7, 61.
61.
Yeah, that accounting degree is paying for itself.
If the
All
number
right.
the DM says it's higher.
Skeech.
Well, we have this magical thing where this one becomes a bigger number. So it's going to be 5 more HP for me.
All right. 47.
I have 3 more
So-
HP than the sorcerer.
You're going to go over to Anna.
All right. Come on, baby. Okay, so that's gonna be 6 on the die.
Oh, right.
So that's gonna be total 9 more. So that brings me to 75, or nope, 76.
76. That's
Hey,
good news.
Better
That's
than
good news.
75.
And Mary.
what's better than 75? 76.
Will, I was incorrect actually. My HP is 62.
I rolled a
62.
1.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, what was your
If you
die?
water it, it grows to a 5 instead.
You roll on a
Forgot.
D10?
Yeah, D10.
So, no, for her,
Oh, that's a D8.
D8. So that'll be a 5. Do you have Constitution bonus?
Yes.
plus
So it brings it
11.
to 59.
How much your con?
What's your con bonus?
So it's 5 plus 2 for 7 total on top of
7,
whatever it
so
was.
59. All right. And Vahn, last but not least.
Ooh, I'll take the average. 6 for 8 total, take me up to a new of 70.
All right. Well, not bad, not bad. keep you alive a little bit longer. All the pieces in place.
Not all the
So,
Get all the HPs.
Okay, you can get it.
Always roll
Thanks,
low
yeah.
on these.
If you
every
need me,
time.
I'll be far away.
so again, you all step into a level 7, so make sure you've adjusted your skills and that sort of thing. Now, Mary, as you sleep, again, you would ask for some guidance in your prayers. And what typically happens a lot of times is when you do this is that in your dreams, answers seem to come to you, and this night is no exception to that. You have a dream about a cathedral, one of which that you had never been to before. And in this particular cathedral, in the center of it, what you see is this amazing looking altar where all the light that is shining through the top of the bell tower is focused and comes down in this rainbow arc across the base of where this altar is. And you get a feeling that somehow there is an answer for what you're looking for associated with this. And then we're going to take ourselves a short break here. And when we return, we'll begin seeing where our adventure takes us past this here. But come back and join us in here in a few minutes, and we'll see you shortly.
Might be more rats.
Oh, hey,
Except
welcome
for the
back.
lid.
All right, so morning arrives. You all have had your 8 hours of rest. Some interesting dreams, and the new day is dawn.
Maybe a little tummy ache because of all the cake.
Echo, you wake up first, stretching, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. It's a new day and a new year for you. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna strap the terrarium safely to Sky, like kind of in our carpet harness thing that we've made, and that way it's just pretty much like almost like a banner for our party.
Aw. Oh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Apparently my microphone was off. Sorry about that. Let's try that again.
I mean, I heard you just fine.
So, the dawning of a new day, yes. So you have the terrarium strapped to Sky's back. And yeah, I'm sure nothing harmful will ever come to that during your adventure. So yes.
I'm wrapping it in leather, so it's like
So
That's how you get on
bondage,
the
yes.
party's bad side, is you
Um,
hurt the spider.
Okay. As Echo is working on mounting that on Sky's back, we'll work our way around the room here. Vaughn, anything you're doing this morning before heading out?
I think Vahn heads back up to where he had a previous conversation with Damon the night before. And I think it's a very different energy from what last night was to what today is as we head out. He's going to maybe get up a little bit before the sun rises and just take it in. Just watch.
All right. As you come out and stand on the top observation deck there, the wind again is solid as far as for the constant blow. You can hear it rustling in your ears there. You can look out and see the clouds moving very quickly. The temperature has dropped. There's frost on everything. Your breath comes out these thick, heavy billows. And as you look up, you actually see the first flakes of snow fall. And it doesn't cover everything. Nothing along those lines. Just some small flakes drifting down here and there. Looking out again towards the city itself, there's that looming gloom over the top of the city. You can't see over the walls. You can see nothing. Every now and then, you do see a shape, something flying whirl in and out of the clouds. What it is very hard to tell at this distance. Maybe if you had a spyglass or something, you could have seen exactly what it was.
I don't.
But it is just quiet, almost an unearthly quiet here in the base of the caldera. Aside from maybe some sounds that echo up out of the courtyard, there really is very little that you're hearing out here.
I think he would just spend some quiet moments in meditation, but intentionally, he's not attempting to connect or convene with Thresh. It's not that he's trying to sever the connection, but it's almost like he's getting right up into that threshold, if you will, and just lets it lie. Peace more so than answers at this time.
It is a nice period alone, aligning yourself for what you're sure is to come down.
He is
the road here
readying
the
himself
day.
from entering the city.
You definitely get a bit of inner peace on that. Mary, you awaken from your sleep. At this point, Vaughn is up doing his thing. Mostly what you hear are some grunts and some sounds from Echo, and a little bit of whining every now and then from Sky as Echo's shifting the weight around and rounding the terrarium to the back of the wolf. what are you doing?
Well, given my dream, I would like to find Vahn again. That's a great spot for your terrarium.
I just feel like people should see it.
I'm glad you like it.
It's amazing. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anna, you're waking up at this moment as well. You can hear Maery talking to Ehko. Those are only the other sounds. A little bit of strange snoring sounds coming from where Damon and the Reverend's side of things are.
I'm gonna go back to sleep. Just try and get like.
All right.
Snooze, escape.
At this point, Maery, you're looking around for where Vahn might have gone. Skeech, what are you doing?
So I'm actually waking up in the tunnel because I figured that's where Damon wouldn't look. So the tunnel to Granitegard. And I know it's going to be a long day, so I'm going to try to just give myself a little pep talk here in the darkness.
You're a brave goblin. Classically. And there will be many trials ahead of us. We can't have.
You actually feel for a brief moment, almost like this feeling that Gendron's giving you this nod of approval.
I hope Ben's watching.
Now that's a true grand.
Yip, what is your morning ritual here going on? Skeech is nowhere to be found. You can hear Maery talking to Ehko.
Wrapping up a lot, actually. So she's like wrapping her feet and legs in these like little cloth bandages and stuff, and putting on all of her very, very warm clothes because it's starting to get very cold and starting to snow now.
That cold-blooded life.
Yeah, she's.
Actually, she's warm-blooded.
I don't know that. I've never. I didn't check.
All right, so you're prepping for the day there.
It wouldn't
And
be any-
Damon, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go down to the courtyard and I'm gonna just practice throwing my daggers to make sure that they always hit the exact spot that I want them to hit.
Excellent morning warm-up for you. That'd be a 20 on a D20. So yeah, you feel really solid about your dagger throws. On your first throw of a dagger today, you will have advantage on that. So
Very quickly, because I forgot to add. Yip would probably look to Ehko mounting the terrarium on top of like Sky's back and be like, you know that's made of glass, right? It's gonna break easily.
I'm reinforcing it with leather.
I don't think that's gonna work well if we fall again like we did earlier.
What do you think where should I put it then?
Maybe downstairs? You
What?
can have the others water it while we're gone.
I think
Well,
we
the
should
children
bring it
play
with
with
us.
We can leave it with the kobold.
No.
But if we bring it with us, it's gonna get broken.
Leave me to meditate.
This is a conversation I have with a 3-year-old. Now, if you take that in the car, you might lose it, and then you'll be sad.
Glad that you brought that up.
Never
Leave me to meditate,
Yip is
Father.
the youngest, and she's like coaching.
So what are you doing, Reverend?
I have the snoring was prestidigitation, a sound that I made. I have not been sleeping. I have been staring. The name that was written on this scroll has consumed my thoughts for the whole night, and I know we're thinking about going into Granitegard, and everyone's terrified of that, but I'm not even thinking about that at all because of what is on this scroll. I don't
It's on the scroll.
know. Do I know the other names on this scroll?
Yeah, what's on?
I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out who those people are, and if
It might have had something to do with the bag's former owner.
yeah, but I'm mostly just like staring at it and having some extremely vivid. They wouldn't be dreams or memories because it's an event that I didn't personally witness, but one that was recently described to me in fairly extreme detail. And so I might look very sleepy when I leave the room today.
All right.
You'll get nothing from me.
Shocker.
Okay. Maery, Vahn comes down to join you all here now that the sun has just crested. You can see him coming down the hatchway there from above. Draws your attention away from Ehko. You approach Vahn.
Vahn, I had this dream. And I'm gonna like kind of grab him by the arm and like kind of pull him aside.
I had a similar dream. It was about being covered in rats.
No. I'm so sorry. That
I can
sounds
make your
awful.
dreams come true.
No, I had a dream about this cathedral, and it was unlike any cathedral I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of cathedrals, okay? And this one had, did you say it was like a...
From your recollection of it, the
Rainbow.
top of the belfry had stained glass, and the way it was designed, the light would pass through the glass and off of multiple reflective surfaces down the tower and break apart through refraction to create a scattered rainbow effect across the floor with the center of the altar aligned with the belfry.
A rainbow altar. There was rainbows everywhere from the stained glass. It was beautiful.
The belfry. How many bells were there?
I don't quite remember how many
Bell
bells.
3.
I don't know. But I know that I'll recognize it if I see it, and I just feel I know inside it. This is the answer. We have to find it.
Well, I mean, I can't be certain. No offense, based on the description that you've given, it was a dream. But it sounds like you're describing the main cathedral of the One God in Granitegard. We attended services there for high holidays.
You could also ask the person who's lived in Granitegard the past year, like 13 years.
It's definitely me. I'm an
I
expert.
have to find
I
this.
lived in Granitegard for 12 years.
You have to help me find this. We're going to Granitegard.
Oh,
We're gonna find it there, right?
We're going to Granitegard. Yes, we're going to find it eventually. I can't speak if this is the first place that we're going, though. They've said that there's some new residents who have taken up in some of these locations.
Well-
We may have to fight our way through them to get to the cathedral.
That's fine.
Well, you seem quite chipper this morning after our conversation last evening.
I'm sorry for
You-
forcing it out of you.
You don't need to apologize. You forced nothing out of me. Maybe
I mean,
different setting,
magically, I kind of did.
but I didn't say anything I wouldn't have said regardless.
Oh, I did that.
Well, I just want you to know that I thought about what you said, and I appreciate how much you're willing to put yourself before everyone else. But I want you, or put us before yourself. I just want you to know that you need somebody to look out for you too. Because I think that people are only as strong as their support, right?
He like looks around, which I imagine everyone else like going about getting ready for the day. Just pauses on a sleeping body over there. What pose are you currently in?
Just like a full-on starfish. Yeah.
It's a longer pause there. Oh, that's what all of you are, right? That's what we are for each other. I don't think I have to look for that anymore. That's the reason that we traveled together. We've already found that support.
Okay, I just wanted you to know. I'm gonna find it. I'm going to find the cure.
And there's like this like mixture of like, yeah, you will, kid. in like also like earnest, like I hope you do. I hope we do.
The One God told me. We're gonna find it.
Walks away a little bit joking. We should probably confer with the Reverend on that, shouldn't we? Walks away quicker. Wow. He looks back with like a half-cocked smile.
Yes, but a young grasshopper.
At this point, everybody is pretty much all packed up for the morning. Anna has set up.
Yep.
Hair's a little mussed.
It's easier to get ready in the morning.
true.
The only person currently missing is Skeech. This thing seem to be here.
I did flee last night.
I know.
You all remember that.
Damon,
Who's
you
also
kill-
not here. Sorry, I forgot. Damon's packed up and downstairs throwing daggers.
Who are you talking to?
You seem a little sleepy.
Yeah, you just peeked over your bunk bed.
Yeah.
Damon did.
Yeah, just a little groggy. That's fine. I'm kind of nervous about.
I mean, Damon's bed smells like rat urine. That might be related.
Can you fix that?
What? We'll be back later. We'll fix it when we come back. If we come back.
That's Reverend.
If we come back,
I'm
what's
not
wrong
the-
with you?
What do you think? I'm not the laundromat. Someone else learned prestidigitation. Clean your own laundry.
I don't know. Will that get rid of the smell?
Insight. Insight.
Is he a laundromat?
I'm
Jangling of coins.
I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm cranky.
Well, there's something up with you. I don't want to know what it is.
Reverend, why are your eyes so
17.
bloodshot?
He's a bit of a poopy pants this morning.
They got you too.
Why are you poopy pants this morning, Reverend?
Who pooped in your pants?
Somebody broke in the night. Pooped in the pants.
I am drinking out of one of my potion bottles.
What is that?
Mary, you solved this
Is it
mystery. I
coffee?
must go find
It's a
speech.
mojito.
It's
Got some caffeine?
yeah, that's what it is.
Liquid courage.
Insight.
I didn't sleep well last night. I was studying my prayers, praying for guidance, something.
I did that too.
Yep, that's what we should be doing.
So what was the result?
Can I insight that?
Conviction. Our path is just, righteous, and we will prevail. Or something.
Should we find Skeech and Damon and
Yeah.
Yeah.
fighting?
Yeah, and we might as well get this all started. Unless I would be happy to go back to sleep if that's unless.
No,
but-
into the tunnel.
You've already slept 8 hours. That's the optimal amount. If you slept any more, you would probably be more tired on the road.
Thank you.
That's
Echo.
good to know, Echo. That's good to know.
Time to go in the tunnel. Come on, let's get this over with.
Yay!
Well, by
Do
the
you have
time
a
we
bad
leave,
feeling?
Damon's sheets and everything have been cleaned because Yip Yip was over here doing prestidigitation after someone brought it up.
Are you a laundromat?
It appears so that Yip Yip is also a laundromat. Downstairs, you all come. You can smell breakfast as going on. You all get some victuals.
Mhm.
All right, and then down the tunnel you proceed.
As the tunnel opens up, just I bought 1,000 of those things.
Ginger?
Good morning.
Oh.
If it is morning.
It is.
Yeah. What's good about it though?
Somebody's a poopy pants.
He seems really grumpy today.
And you watch me like I'm not really being particularly clever about it. You watch me pour from a large bottle of clear liquid into this bottle. I'm making potions.
It does smell like my alchemy kit.
What?
What's wrong with you?
It's a poopy pants.
How much time we got?
Isn't it a little early to be sampling new potions? Usually you wait till before bed or when we're celebrating something or when we're fighting.
You mind your own business.
Did something
Fair enough.
happen?
No, I'm just scared about going into, scary city with monsters. I'll be fine.
Seems like
Okay.
a reasonable reaction. All right.
Have we found Damon?
Oh.
Am I with them?
Damon is just all of a sudden standing there.
Are you running?
Oh, right. I got that
Go,
mixed up.
go.
Has Damon found...
Are you still surprised?
I mean, a little bit. I'm not very observant.
I am, and I still can't ever catch on, so...
We should get going then. We should stop by the kobold hive and let them know what's going on, though.
Oh, right. Some assistance with getting the supplies. Again, our people don't want to go fully into the tunnels, so
Yeah,
we need some help.
I can just tell them and show them where to go, and they'll just come pick them up,
Let's go talk with them.
Perfect.
and then we can get going. Where are we going again?
Well,
we're going into Granitegard again.
Well, yeah,
And
but.
we're dealing with the Leapers, I think. Was the plan.
Oh, right.
But-
Yeah, it's better for us to go above ground for that, though. It'd be really hard to get to them underground.
Well, before we
Above ground through Granitegard?
Yeah.
The place that everyone's been telling us to avoid?
The very same.
Okay.
It'd be more dangerous to go
Extra of those
underground.
potions.
And I
I already said that. It'd be more dangerous.
I hand it to Anna like really surreptitiously, like this I do, sleight of hand. Because obviously I've been telling people like, oh, it's potion of fortification. You know that one.
Perfect. Thank you. Excellent. Good, good, good.
Just keep that. You don't tell them. That one's a little brown. Like it's a brown, it's a brown color.
barrel aged.
Yep.
All right, as the rest of the party begins moving forward, Skeech and Damon are separated from you all just a little bit, some space as the
Just in the back.
stretching out along the tunnel there.
Vaughn is looking back
Is it dark?
every so often.
Nobody has erected any lights.
Okay, well I didn't know if it was like lit by a torch. So I'm gonna stand in the middle of the party, holding one of my trinkets with that's casting light. Although actually this trinket is it is the symbol of the one god.
That's my boy. Can you not all see in the dark?
No, we can't see in the dark.
It's true. And this is a little silly, Yip, but I
Some
don't.
of us can.
Yeah, I don't mind
In the
telling
dark.
telling you. I'm actually a little afraid of it. So I'm glad.
It's not that bad. It's cozy down here.
Yes. Cozy.
Vaughn hits his head on a low line. He's a tunnel.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's dim like past about 10 feet. Sorry about that.
It's the sound of coziness.
Yip's like just happily leading the way. Like you can hear her little feet go.
So Yip's leading the way. Skeech, what were you gonna say?
So, don't you have a good night, Damon?
Oh, it was great.
It was, wasn't it?
Oh, I love finding rats in my bed.
Oh, you're gonna have so many good nights. Oh, man. But are you still scared?
Yes, I am.
And you're coming anyway.
Yes.
That sounds familiar. Well, I got a reason to not be so scared anymore. And maybe you'll find one too soon. But till then, I'm gonna reach down and I'm gonna pull out the necklace that the Reverend gave me. And I'm just gonna like hold my arm out. I'm not even gonna look at him. You can use this. It helps.
Skeech, I owe you an apology.
Then I just drop it.
It breaks because I need to stress that it's very cheaply made.
Oh no.
Oh, crud.
Disregard that.
No, I got glue somewhere. I got
Hang
really
on.
good glue, actually.
Wait, Skeech,
Huh?
you are very important to everyone here.
I know.
What I said was wrong. I said it in a fit of anger, but it was still wrong. And I'm sorry.
Skeech is just like holding on to his chest, like. It almost hurts more from you, but thanks.
I let you have the rats this one time, but the next time that it happens, I will find you. I swear.
Yeah. This is probably a good time to tell you. After the rats are out of the bag, I don't tell them what to do. So, yeah, I probably should just give that to Ehko, honestly. I got my fun. I gotta wait till his next birthday, though, right? Like, we have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
You're a... Okay, yeah, whatever. Different in the circus.
Yeah, yes.
I'll try to put the symbol back together as we're walking down.
All right.
Yeah, fine. You can have this half, and I'll keep the other one.
All right.
That's a best friends locket. That's fantastic.
Wait a minute.
Just on the inside is the Reverend's face, just broken half.
Oh, that's great. That's
Oh.
so great.
Passing down the tunnels again, you cross a immeasurable distance. It's again very difficult to tell as you move down here how far, but you've done this several times at this point. You know you're progressing. You pass the site where Gendron and his party fell. You pass underneath the Wild Run River. You can hear the thunderous sounds of that rushing ahead. Get to the end and up that widening staircase to finally to the secret door, and then it's just through the tunnels, finally arriving at the Kobold Hive. And there is a flurry of activity going on here in the Hive at this point in time. They seem quite excited at this point to see while they're cheering for you, and they bring you down on the elevator, and the Alphamother comes out. She's looking at you. She's like, were you successful? And what did you were looking to do?
Well, yes, we were successful. We acquired most, if not all, with Yip Yip's assistance.
But they have to be picked up, and some of the humans in the tower said they would pick it up and bring it to the entrance to the tunnels. We just gotta pick it up from the entrance to the tunnels.
We've set up a whole supply chain from the city to our garrison tower with our intermediaries where they will deliver them. You'll take over from there. They're not real comfortable coming into the tunnels, as I'm sure you understand, but that can be the meeting point. Now, I have to stress that there's some amount of espionage, intrigue, if you will, going up on the surface because trying to avoid the prying eyes of some of the powers that be up there.
We cannot thank you enough for what you have done. She motions you over and kind of puts her arm around you, tucks you in tightly. You can see her wings kind of close in around you and then fold back out again. And she's like, you have done well. Yes, you have done well. And again, humans, so we thank you for what you have done here. The Kobold's been very busy at this point. We have been looking and clearing portions of the tunnels to make your further journeys easier. If you are looking to head to the Leapers, that area is still very much patrolled. You will want to take the tunnels as far as the Warrens, and then from there you'll use that section of the city to progress to the pump station. But be wary, it is patrolled, but not as much so as other sections of the city.
Patrolled by whom or what? And I might not actually want to know the answer to this.
Unfortunately, it seems to be quite a crossover area. But the Warrens are very, very easy to lose a tail in. A tight collection of the poor, where the not poor, the servants might live. Servants might live in this area. Where she talks about the Warrens, the two of you are very familiar where that it is a very tightly dense area of urban development that, again, those families are not as wealthy, typically working for the larger estates and things like that would be packed into. A lot of your dock workers and stuff would work there. A lot of times new immigrants that would come into Granitegard would start there, and depending on how their fortunes went, they might move to greener pastures on that, or maybe spend their lives in the Warrens. The Warrens were there first before the shambles sprung up outside of town. When there was no more room in the Warrens, well, that's where your shambles originated from on that. She looks over, she says, and you have kept your end of your bargain. And now it is time for me to reveal to you the last bit of the history that you will need. Just please follow me. And she takes you over to that first chamber where it laid out the history of the humans and their rise in Granitegard. And from there, she takes you back to the second chamber where the elves were. And at the far end of that chamber, she waves her hand across the rock, and you can see the stone lily just kind of melts apart and splits open to create a passageway to another chamber that lies beyond that. And as she does so, you can see the oil lamps flicker to life in there and begin illuminating. There's some murals on the wall, much like you saw in the 2 chambers prior to. She says, "This way now, this way. From here, we look to memories that are buried deep, long since entombed in the passage of time, before the age of your humans, even before the reign of the Elderborn, when magical energies course through this world like rivers of mighty arcane power. Back to the time of the giants." And as she points up to the wall here on the first section of the chamber, this area is filled with a collection of paintings that depict this long ago time. And amongst these scenes, you see blue-skinned giants standing atop mountains, and they seem to be snatching lightning bolts directly out of the clouds themselves. Their eyes are sizzling with this electric glow, crackles of energy just dancing right off of them in these big, huge arcs. You can also see another picture that shows these enormous gray-hued giants, and they're throwing boulders at each other easily the size of human buildings. And it's some battle that they must be having amongst themselves. And down below them, you can see small humanoid figures running. Unfortunately, some of them are being crushed within the battle itself. And there are multiple other scenes that you see of life at the time when these giants must have been in charge. But in the air, in the background, what you do see are these silhouettes of winged dragons, seeming like insignificant compared to what the giants are doing there. She says, in those days, the giants ruled the land, and none were more powerful than the storm giants. They towered over their brethren, wielding unmatched physical might and a mastery of the elements. The giants and their kin cared not for anyone but their own desires, warring amongst themselves, petulant little children divided into domains controlled by jealous chieftains, each constantly seeking to increase their wealth and power, to raise their status holdings, never considering the countless tiny innocent lives that were destroyed in their brutal struggles. And the only creatures that could cause these giants' pause were the dragons. But not dragons like you're thinking. These were more primitive. And like the giants, they were creatures of magic and brutal by might. But they were closer more to the beasts, more cunning than they were intelligent. Like serpents, but able to wield terrible magical powers. And they quarreled amongst one another for territory, for mates, and for treasure at those days. So it was inevitable that these two forces would collide, and they were destined to come into conflict. And they did slaughter each other in ferocious battles, a cruel back and forth that drawn out over a millennium or more. Yet it was the giants that were winning this slow battle of attrition. Dragonkind pushed back to the brink, and as she moves along the wall, she has a mural that shows giant war parties out killing the dragons, celebrating as they plunder the dead creatures' treasure, feasting on their eggs, holding parts of the dragons up, almost like trophies. And she steps forward to another section, and she continues, she says, that is, until the coming of the 12. In the histories that are passed down from Alphamother to Alphamother, they tell of a clutch of eggs that were laid atop a towering mountain of obsidian. 12 hatchlings, said to have been blessed with the touch of the creator of all, endowed with abilities and talents unique to their personalities, destined to rule the lands. They were like no dragons that had come before them, in no sense, physically mightier than any of their kind, but graced with an intelligence exceeding the animalistic nature of their kin. They were the apex of their bloodline. In your half-remembered legends, your tales of old that you humans talk about with dragons, they all stem from the 12. No other dragons were like them. And as she talks, she indicates to a mural now that shows 12 different dragons, and it is the neck and the head of them in this almost like wagon, almost spokes on a wagon wheels. They all point in different directions from there. And each of these dragons is a different color, and each one has a very distinctive head crest. And upon reaching maturity, the 12 began a campaign against the giant kind that held no quarter. And in the end, it was the giants that disappeared into the mist of history, long forgotten. Today, any of them that remain are but a pathetic shadow of their former glory. And as she stands in front of this next section and she points up to it, strangely, there's no displays of the 12 waging their war against the giants. It just simply shows these enormous dragons perched atop this mountain. However, as you're looking at their triumph, you realize that the marvel of this painting is not what it seems at first. The mountain itself is actually comprised of the bodies of giants stacked that high, that these 12 ancient dragons could actually sit atop it. You could only imagine what that meant at that time. And with their foes defeated, the 12 marveled at the newfound positions of power. Looking out across the vastness of the world before them, they saw it lands ripe with opportunity. For some of these nestmates, it would be a crusade of justice to spread peace and order. And with others of the 12, it was more greed, a desire for riches and wealth and satisfaction from their own gain. And sadly, some of the 12 whose hearts were filled with darker motives, it was a lust for dominion over others or worse. Regardless of these individual motivations, when the might of the 12 turned to expansion, there was none that could stand against them. It was like the inevitable rising of the tide. The 12 could not be stopped. Many did try to stand up to resist, but they were forced to either bend the knee or be consumed. Each of these new sentient species toppled one after another. Those that proved loyal, well, they were added to the armies of the 12. And she uses her staff to direct your gaze up to the next section of the mural. And from here you see the left side of the painting is this grand city with tall silver spires, and dragons whirl and they soar in the air. And below that, there are a great host of figures like elves and dwarves standing with their arms raised up to the dragons. And the elves, they carried the most favor with the 12, serving the dragons as their attendants and their devoted servants. While still woefully prideful, refusing to admit they'd been defeated, the dwarves, they stoically bore the burden of being the brutish labor and craftsmen for these dragons. And this was also the time when we kobolds were brought into the fold as well. The dragons took to us almost like a kin, and they are the ones that taught the first Alphamothers how to harness the powers of the earth to become the singers of stone that we have today. And together, this combined might of dwarves, elves, and kobolds, the 12's empire grew because of this. Its citizens pampered on spoils of their successes. And she continues down to the mural, and you can see that this section shows the empire of the 12 spreading out across the lands. And what you do see is you recognize many geographical figures familiar within the human crescent itself, but even then, lands beyond that. Lands that you don't recognize from any maps that you've seen that the humans have. And there are small depictions of life under the rule of the 12. You can see bustling markets, armies of elven warriors. You can see dwarven forges producing very fantastical machines. Yet, nestled off to the far corner is a depiction of a dragon leering at it all, a wispy, smoky form, its eyes narrowed. You can almost feel the hatred radiating from this being as you look at the picture there. She turns to you, and there was one among the 12, which none of the comforts or successes mattered. With a covetous eye, they gazed upon their nestmates, hungry, covetous of what they felt they should have, but not acquiring their fair share, not given the respect they deserve amongst their siblings. And this was umbra obscura, unseen shadow in your human tongue. The last to hatch, always drawn into a subordinate position with the more vicious desires of her evil nestmates, Umbra enjoyed toying with the weak, afraid to confront anyone stronger than itself. A coward that hid in the darkness, the weakest of its nestmates. Umbra always skulked in the shadows around the edges of the siblings' glories, looking on with growing envy and festering hate, so hungry for that power, consumed by the need for adulation. And when the idea of murder was whispered into their ear, the fate of the 12 was sealed. And she steps over, and you can see that shadowy form in this next section of the mural. And there's a humanoid form that is closed and tight, almost holding the chin of the shadowy dragon and whispering what looks to be into its ear. Very close and tight and familiar looking, the two. In the dark of night, Umbra struck down the first of the 12, murdering his sister, Pastoris Nutura, in her sleep. Pastor's mastery of the forces of nature devoured by the empty soul of Umbra. And the next painting is depicting this heinous deed transpiring, and you can see that Umbra is killing Pastora, yet you can almost feel the brutality of it, even though the painting itself seems very simplistic. It's very unsettling as you look at it. The Alphamother kind of closes her eyes for a moment, and she points up to the next one. And as your eyes move over from the depiction of the murder, you can see a transformation occurring in Umbra. Violent changes as Umbra's body rips apart into a larger, more vicious draconic beast. Radiating power and hate, their pools become this all-consuming hunger of just burning desire and unsatisfied need. And she says, and thus Umbra was transformed, reborn as Inimicus Atrax, the savage enemy. And this act unleashed a terrible curse amongst the nestmates, for each of the 12 knew that, along with the blessings of the All-Creator, they were bound by an important portent. Should any of the nestmates kill their siblings, it would bring about the destruction of them all, and thus ensuring that there would always be balance amongst them. But Inimicus did not heed this dire warning, instead convinced that they could obtain godhood by killing and absorbing all the essence from their siblings, thereby undoing the divine law placed upon them. And once Inimicus had tasted that power, there would be nothing that could slake their thirst, their ravenous hunger. And 4 more of the 12 fell to this insanity, their essences absorbed, and Inimicus becoming a living visage of the darkest of nightmares. And as the Alphamother slowly walks along the broad curve of the chamber here, her staff falls upon a new section of the wall, and you can see burning cities and bodies of dead stacked like cordwood. There are dragons, elves, dwarves, all manners of creatures torn asunder, some burned to ash. And there is this colossal, swirling mass of the darkest evil with these 2 venomous, glowing orange eyes staring out at you. And you swear, even from the painting, they are looking at you. Almost as if Inimicus is here now, looking at you. The Alphamother kind of shudders away from that. She says, the remaining 6 siblings banded together to stand against Inimicus in a terrible battle. It took place right here. This entire caldera is a result of this conflict. Blasted, torn apart. The mural below where he shows the Inimicus is this battle that took place, and you can see how the land was rescaped by the battle. It is a swirling, chaotic maelstrom of brilliant colors in the deepest blackness. It's almost unimaginable magical forces are being unleashed. And in the end, only 4 remain standing. Urum Omatis, the golden sealed, Incendium Cor, the burning rage, Frigius Ventum, the glacial wind, and Versagalus Rex, the cunning one. While they were able to defeat Inimicus, there was not power amongst them enough to kill the savage enemy. Instead, they sealed it away in an eternal slumber. You can see here in the next set of paintings that the 4 dragons are surrounding the swirling mass. They seem to be channeling some sort of energy that encapsulates Inimicus and driving Inimicus into this orb of brilliant magical power. And it was into the iron prison Inimicus was cast, bound and chained, sealed away until the day that evil could be brought to an end. You can see now that the brilliant magical spheroid has actually changed into a giant sphere of iron that is dropping into a towering pillar of granite as the siblings all fly away in separate directions. And as the siblings return to their homes, broken, power spent from the battle, the last of the 12 were taken by surprise by their very subjects. The final section of the mural shows a violent overthrow of the dragons by the elves. Blood flows freely in the streets of the dragon cities as armies of loyalists are quickly and brutally crushed by the rebelling forces. There are scenes of terrible retributions being meted out to those that were still loyal to the dragons, and also the many dragons themselves being slaughtered. It was the armies of the Argan that had been lying in wait, springing their vicious attack when the surviving dragons were most vulnerable. The four were unable to resist the rebellion of their former servants, all arranged in one fell swoop, simultaneous turning. The age of dragons had swiftly and brutally come to an end, and now it was the time of the Elderborn. And now you know the history of where we stand, and understand a bit more why Melancholic might have come to the city.
Point to the part of the mural with the figure that is whispering into Umbra Obscura's ear. Is that Melancholic?
From behind you, you hear, unfortunately, yes, it was. And standing, kind of leaning up the edge of the tunnelway, is Versigalis in all of his human glory. He has a flute of wine, kind of taking a sip as he looks over at you. She's an interesting young lady, nestled into many points in this sad tale, it seems.
Hi again.
It's good to see you. I apologize about not revealing certain aspects of my nature, but as you can see, if I was to simply announce in the middle of the Red Valerian Inn, oh, by the way, I happen to be quite an ancient dragon, I doubt that, number one, you would have believed me. I think I'm quite mad, and anybody else that did believe me might have attempted to do something very terrible while we were there.
I'm less concerned that you're actually a dragon. Shocked that that may be. I think the part of that story that you were keeping from us that I think is much more relevant is the part that we are the ones that are now standing against a legendary ancient evil that corrupted the dragons and destroyed the world not one but maybe 2 or 3 times, and we are the ones that are supposed to stop her, and possibly this other ancient dragon that murdered the rest of your siblings. You thought that we were going to be the ones that were going to defeat that?
Actually, relatively confident that you should have a decent chance of doing so.
We are so underpaid for this.
Well, typically, the rewards come after.
Why aren't you helping?
I have been helping a considerable lot, young sir. Do you have any idea what it takes to put all the chess pieces into play, to move them about the board where they need to be, to help arrange?
No, I don't know how to play whatever game that you're talking about. All I see is the people.
Rocks and Stones, remember that game? Very similar to Rocks and Stones.
All I'm saying is the people that I care about now are supposed to clean up your people's mess now. My people are gone now because of that mess.
Unfortunately, I
So when you're talking about chess pieces moving, we're all rocks and stones.
Oh, you're much more valuable to me than Rocks and Stones. I have grown quite fond of you, as a matter of fact.
Fond of us as you may be, that doesn't mean that we aren't still pawns. Pawn being the least valuable piece in a game of dragon chess.
Oh, I can assure you, you are more valuable than you realize, my dear Reverend.
What is going to possibly make us ready for something like that? How do we prepare for that?
That's a very solid question. Good. Well, there are many tasks that are ahead of you, and I'm hoping that within this time, if things are moving as I believe they might, that you will certainly acquire items of power that you would need between here and there. You have in your possession the one thing that makes Melancholic more vulnerable than you even realize. Oh. Yes,
We all put our hands together.
I wish that was so.
Yeah.
The keystone that you have recovered there. Melancholic. Yes, I'm very well aware that you have that, Ehko. I appreciate your attempts at deceit. It was quite amusing, but
It's okay. I just didn't trust you. But now that I know you're all-seeing dragon, it doesn't matter if I trust you.
And who
okay.
kind of
So
tricked you into this whole
let me
thing?
clear some things up here. I am not an
So did you guys
all-seeing
not
dragon.
realize that he was a dragon?
No,
No.
that is
No.
what this conversation is we're having right
I
now.
might
Did you?
have omitted that fact
Yeah?
a lot.
So what do you know about us? Why did you choose us?
Thump.
Again, I think this all-seeing things that have been confusing. You see, the gifts that I was bestowed are more along the lines of good fortune and a little bit of foresight. And between those things, I have been able to be quite useful and beneficial to many individual over time, particularly myself and my brethren at certain points. But over the millennia, I have taken quite a fancy to various races. For a while, I was very taken by the elves. They were very interesting and passionate. Passionate is not right. Driven group of individuals. The Argon, they were quite exciting, but that did sour a bit once I discovered you humans. You are fascinating. I so much passion actually in you, packed into such a short lifespan in the amazing works that you're capable.
So we're your pets.
Oh, goodness
What you're
gracious.
describing is a pet.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Oh, no. A pet you would not to do things that I've done to expend. I have so much life energy left in me. And every time I expend any of my abilities, it brings me closer to no longer existing. I have been making these arrangements to hopefully bring an end to all of the residual that Inimicus left and put an end to the threat that Melancholic.
You're describing being alive. That's how it works for us mere mortals. Every day on this forsaken planet is one day close to death, and we have been wasting it as your errand boys.
I'm very sorry that you see it that way, especially since where you're looking to extract your vengeance and such is tied directly to this end cause here.
So you set up the enemies to get us here? That was all you as well?
No. Again, you seem to think that I am all seeing and able to arrange everything all over the place. No, merely that I am aware of who and what you are and how you fit into the scope of things that help me arrange to get you into places.
Well, then how did you not know what was going to happen earlier? Why didn't you warn them of Melancholic then? Why now?
I can't. Should I have interfered with that at that point in time, I would have changed the entire flow of future events. It would have recontextualized what would have happened. And every time that I have to look forward into future events, again, it drains me so.
So every time that you try to see what's coming, it takes a little bit out of you. That's what you're saying.
After we cast Inimicus into the Iron Prison, it cost the life of one of my siblings to invoke the ritual that created the Iron Prison, and then it drew out the essence of us remaining four to almost nothing to finish it. And what I have left, I have been using to move things in the right direction, to put an end to all this, because should Inimicus escape the Iron Prison, or should Melancholic succeed in harvesting the essences from Inimicus, it doesn't matter if I'm here or not, your world will end. As far as you know it. It will be darkness.
So you're playing the long game. What is
Unfortunately,
your strategy?
my strategy?
What is the plan?
We, I believe, are the strategy, Mary.
Yeah, everything
detail.
before us was
Of
just
the logistics.
expendable.
The logistics? I would like you to charge the Keystone. I would like you to go into the Iron Prison. I would like you to kill Inimicus and destroy the Iron Prison. And in doing so, the phylactery from Alessandus would be destroyed, leaving her vulnerable to be finally put to an end. There was a very brave man, a woman, and a companion that put an end to Melisandus once. But because she's not alive like you and I are, she was able to return and will return every time you seek to destroy her body. She bound herself to the Iron Prison. What better phylactery than an indestructible magical power as such as this? And so even if you were at this point in time able to somehow eradicate every single cell, every tiny molecule that makes up this body, she would be back. It might take her several years. It could take her decades to rebuild her energies and her power, but she would be back.
So my mother died for nothing.
Oh, I don't believe that your mother died for nothing. Mary, you are possessed of quite determination, are you not? Faith? A desire to put an end to this?
Yes.
You think that would be a waste? You're very much like your mother.
So you knew her?
I observed. There are more times in my life that I wish I could have interfered with things than I possibly have the time today to sit down and talk with you about. I tell you what, I need another refill on the wine. Would you all like to join me?
Yes.
No.
Well then, damn it, I do have some grape juice if you desire, or some sour, whatever it is that would make you happy.
Yeah,
That's
any-
not my point. My
anything
point is
to-
you're treating this like it's a game.
It is a game.
It is a game that we're all playing at this point, Damon. It is win or lose. And I do not intend to lose. That is why I have put my stock in you.
Unless we're just like the last group. And it just buys you some time.
Unfortunately, there wasn't the last group.
Really? So when you said destroyed her before, and before then, and she just keeps coming back, there were no other groups that did that.
Oh, not that I put together. The timing has to be right. The stars in alignment, as I guess one would say. But no, those were not me that were doing that. No.
I have 2 questions.
Reverend, please come with me.
But
All of you, come with me, please.
but
And-
first, I'm going to take you up on that refill.
Yes, this is why I wish you would follow me right now.
Oh,
He takes you back out of the chamber
Take it to
to
the cellar.
out to where the table is that was set up there by the throne before. And this time it is laid out with not spider milk biscuits and things along those lines. It is a veritable feast set out here before you all.
Echo said there's no spider milk biscuits.
He loves spider.
Echo, if you so desire spider milk biscuits, we can certainly get those for you.
No, it's okay.
the spider would like a spider milk biscuit? Is that like no?
Sounds
If
kinda
it's a
messed
baby spider.
It's, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a baby spider.
You know it's a spider, right? There's no vegetarian spiders. They eat. Okay, you know what? No, it's fine. Go ahead and get some
He
spider.
has every answer
Reverend,
except the ones we want.
I think yes. Here you go, sir. And he fills your glass up, and he fills his up as well. He's like, yes. Oh, and he takes a very long, hard swig of his own wine.
You want to
Anyone
check
else?
that?
Please.
Up,
Yes.
up.
There's,
Okay.
Might as
if
well.
you prefer, there's harder. And
Yes, well.
he fills you up as well.
Try
It
not
sits
to
down,
die.
kicks his legs up on the table a bit, pulls out a
Relax,
pipe,
drink wine.
and begins to puff on the pipe. He's like, I'm sure you have plenty of questions at this point. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I will not hold back. I will tell you what I know. You've earned that more than you even know at this point. What is it that I can address for you? I believe it's appropriate that we're on a fair and even footing.
I think we should go in a circle. Whoever would like to start.
I'm going to actually look over to my friend Damon here, because if those daggers from his eyes continually stab me on that side any longer, I do find it most uncomfortable. Damon, what is it, sir? What?
Why us?
I don't know why you fell into this tapestry as it is. I don't control fate. It's not what I do. But why did you make the choices that you made to bring yourself to this location?
Get real quiet at that comment and just sit there and.
And so I will leave you to ponder that. But no, for me to trust you with this task, for me to put the last of what I have on the line, is a bond that I cannot even begin to tell you how immeasurable. And while you think about that, Reverend, sir, do you want anything more than hard drink?
I have 2 questions, and they are related. First, it's something that has been consuming me since I entered this city. I've noticed this. The rest of you probably have as well. I used to be able to do some magic parlor tricks, really enough to fool people, even a little bit of healing. I hope you didn't think that was facade. But what I've been able to do the past few weeks and months, it's on a whole other scale. Some of the things I can do, and I cast a minor illusion, they feel like things that you can do. Like appear to us in this form, for instance. Is that why this is happening to me? Are you the source of this, or the cause?
I am not the cause of this. No. That is something. That is something that I think that you will have to discuss with powers higher than myself on that. Again, Reverend.
Do not like that answer. You can see it on my face.
I think at one point there was a still small voice that spoke to you. That was not me. I can assure you of this. My voice has never been called still nor small.
Follow-up question. In pursuing this path that you have laid out for us, will my power grow further?
If what I have seen comes to pass.
And I also, hold up, I'm now sort of like clutching the book.
Again, if what I have seen comes to pass, yes. But that ultimately will be your decision and choices that you make.
I stopped listening after he said yes. All right, and then I go over and I make a motion to clink my glass with his.
Picks the glass up.
Then if you are offering me the power to smite my foes, see the way driven before me, the rest is honestly entirely irrelevant. I'll be your pawn.
Well, here's to irrelevance then.
I'll serve in your army.
Well, you honor me. I never had one myself to begin with, so I guess that's a start somewhere. Echo?
Ehko removes the keystone from where he keeps it. I need to know what will happen if we do complete this.
If the keystone is charged with the 12 souls that are necessary, it will allow you to enter into the Iron Prison. You will have many obstacles in front of you within the Iron Prison. And then there will be the final fight with the Nimicus, but should you prevail, it will allow you to destroy him.
And this was created to keep people away from him?
You see, if the 4 of us had destroyed him, we would have been tainted by the evil. He slew all of my nestmates that were consumed by the more darker tastes. And so, along with those of us that were kinder, he also took those traits. Should we have killed him, we would have been tainted by it. We could not allow that to happen. It would have made us just as terrible and as horrible as an Amicus. Could you imagine 4 of us that powerful? It would have been a matter of time before we tore each other apart, consuming each other's essence for that.
So this is a lock for you.
Yes.
And those like you. And what fills the 12?
Within this city, Melisandus has been assembling the souls that she needs to charge this. It will be up to you to find them. And I'm assuming, with all the other tasks that you have before you, that this will not be terribly hard for you to encounter what you're looking for to charge up this device. It was crafted by her, one of her minions, to mimic the original keystone that we had created, which unfortunately has been lost to time.
My last question. How long have you known about us or me?
I have known about all of you collectively for quite a bit of time.
How long?
It depends upon who we're speaking of here.
Me.
So, for you?
Yes.
Since you were found by the monasteries, how long would I have known of you?
He seems upset with that answer.
I realize that you are not satisfied with that, but I'm also honoring a wish of an old friend of both of ours.
A wish?
A request.
What is it?
If I was to reveal that to you, and I do apologize, I said I would be open and honest, but I will not break the covenant that I made with Algar on that. Your past will be revealed to you if you continue down this road.
But he knew about it? And he never told me.
Sometimes there are things in life that it is better to discover at appointed times.
That's the way he would deflect as well. He would give me some lesson to deflect from the questions I actually wanted to know. Very well.
I can assure you that he looked upon you as a friend and almost as like a son that he never had. So his intentions for you were of the highest order.
Okay. And he just kind of shrinks down into his the keystone.
Gibeah,
Oh, me?
I assume that you were equal share in this party. I know why you have joined up upon this. This is part of your mantleship. This is your appointment. But are there any questions that you have?
I mean, I'm a part of this too then?
I do think that you will find your future quite intertwined with your newfound friends here. As their success or failure with the city certainly bodes for your people as well.
She would kind of hesitate for a moment, glancing around to see how many kobolds were around.
At this point, there's no activity in the hive at this point, except all the kobolds are kind of sat down, or they sitting on the bridges, or looking over the banisters and things like that, as Versigalis is here.
Are they listening in?
Everybody, your entire brood clan is staring at you, except for the Alphamother, who seems to be kind of sitting to the side of where Ursigalis is sitting with a bit of a smirk on her face.
Hold on just a moment, then. I'm trying to figure out how to word this in my head. I had thought about it, but then now it's like he's on the spot here under her whole clan.
Well, I tell you what, we'll come back to you in just a moment. Skeech?
You're not gonna like what I have to say. Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, I've always enjoyed your cute little banter there. Please,
Oh, I'll speak.
hurl your insults. I would love to hear what you have for me.
I'll speak. It's
Just no
just
rats,
not
please.
my time yet.
Okay, well. Anna?
I was wondering, could I trade my question, and would you wear a gift from me instead?
I would be honored.
Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to go to my pack, and I'm going to take out the small piece of the cloth that I got from Gildan and fold it like a cravat, and you see it flash with a bunch of different colors as she's folding it: dark blue, pure white, and just like little flickers of crimson. And she hands it to him.
He takes the cloth and it's a
Mhm.
it's a green. I
Hmm.
believe that's calm, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be any fluctuation. It's a very straight color anywhere that his hands happen to be in contact with.
Mm.
And he takes that and tucks it into the jacket. It's like, well, at some points in time, I'm sure it's going to clash with the outfit, but because you asked me to carry that, I will certainly do so.
Thank you.
Mary?
Circumstances, being a pawn, doesn't matter. Killing Malicendas has to be done. And my mother's death will be avenged. It can't have been for nothing. I won't let it be for nothing.
I wish you would stop saying the pawn. That makes it seem so cheap. Again, while I can see possibilities and things along those lines, I don't appoint you to these things exactly. You've fallen into this because of powers that are even beyond myself. Yes, I did make sure that Damon, Reverend, and Ehko met up at the caravan at the right points in time to make sure the arrival came exactly where it did. And Vahn might have gotten lost in woods that he was familiar with because somebody
those
did
woods.
play around with a little bit of spatial orientation on that. It happens every now and then. And it was just, a bit of luck that you all happened to stumble across that campfire at just that right time.
I'm so sure. I need to
It was
know.
called a little bit of sarcasm and some humor interjected into that. You do much better when you smile. And don't roll your eyes, please.
I need
On
to
behalf
know how exactly to kill Malicendas for good. Once we're inside the Iron Prison, once we have charged the Keystone, what then?
Once you destroy the Iron Prison, you have destroyed her phylactery.
I thought that the Keystone was to give us access.
It does. It brings you inside the Iron Prison, and when you defeat Inimicus, you will destroy the Iron Prison. And doing so renders Malicendas vulnerable to anything that would kill her kind.
Once the prison is down,
She does not have the power to return. As a matter of fact, it would gravely weaken her if her phylactery was to be destroyed. You see, a lich binds itself to an object, or in this case, a grand object.
why didn't my parents know this before?
Why did they not know that she was a lich? Unfortunately, I can't answer that question why they did not know that. More than likely because they are dealing with something more powerful than they even realize. Your mother did not want to think her mother would have stooped to something along those lines, to covet such an evil power to acquire her ends.
And who was my grandmother?
I think you know the answer to that.
I think I'm gonna puke.
Big gap.
And Vahn?
It looks over to Yip Yip and Skeech. You sure you two don't have any questions?
I have some things to say.
None that I would want to ask here.
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And I have none that I would want to ask.
As she like glances around at all the kobolds again.
Here.
Like she had completely sunken down like into her cloak now.
Well then, my first question is just point of clarification, and then I have a series of others if I have time. This morning,
Do you have the list prepared in order? And
his hand instinctively reaches towards his book as he stops it halfway.
I would have asked for nothing other. Please continue.
This morning, I stood atop the watchtower and I saw something flying in the sky. Was that you or was that something else?
I have not soared in the skies in... Oh my.
I do not mean to put you on the spot. in that
It's
regard.
unfortunately, I don't even know if I can remember how to fly. It would take a bit of time for me to get back my wings again. But no, that was not me. More than likely, it is one of the less than friendly creatures that Melisandus has lurking about. To say, when your zoo fell, unfortunately, a good number of the animals have found homes within the city, although they might not be the same as you had once seen them.
I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're not. You kind of watch as this struggle of cogs turning in Vaughn's head. To be honest, I find it amusing. I came back to Granitegard to assume the mantle, my birthright, ascend and rule as king. I thought that was important. In hearing your story, it seems, to be quite honest with you, it seems to pale in comparison to everything else that we have before us. But I can't stop thinking about my family. So my only question for you is about them. We'll do everything else. We'll do what you ask, because it is what is right and it is what is just. But what of my siblings? And he kind of looks over to the Alphamother, and she said that she would tell me more later, but you are here now.
The Alphamother looks, and you can see this exchange between the two of them. And he nods at the Alphamother and looks to you. You are not the only survivor of your family from that evening. And I don't refer to your uncle, George. I can tell you, you may come to a time where their lives hang in the balance, in your hands, shall we say. It will be up to you to make a choice. I can't influence that one way or the other. And I am not able to warn you anything past that, or again, it will change the future.
He's not really hiding this very well, but you would essentially see this roller coaster-esque of emotions as hearing that there's at least another one of his siblings who's alive. And then as you turn and explain that yet again their life may be in danger, a sinking, but not without some type of light of hope, almost as if he's finding a reason to potentially keep on living. That's enough. Thank you.
And I do believe it's the time for Skeech to give me a piece of his mind. So please.
Skeech will reach up and take his goggles off and slide his backpack off. As he takes a deep breath, you can see his lips curl back into that classic emotion that most of you are familiar with goblins. It looks much more natural for him as he starts to hunch slightly, and you're reminded of exactly what he is. Say, okay, fine. I have a few questions. One, is everything we saw back there true?
The murals?
Yeah.
All is unfortunately true.
My entire life, I've always had to worry about the bigger guy. For you, you were born strong. You had your siblings, and you had a bigger guy. You killed them. They're all dead now. Nothing for you to worry about. And then you got to pick and choose what came after that. You had your elves and your dwarves, and now these humans. I'm just me. You had your kobolds. They're kind of like you, so of course you want to keep them around. And you get to pick and choose. I'm not learned, I'm not worldly, but you get to play God. You get to see things that will be. You get to make subtle changes to influence how they work. And every time you do, it takes something from you. Like, we should be grateful that you're trying to clean up the mess that you helped make in the first place. So, I get it. You expect me to hurl insults at you. It's not what I'm doing. It's just trying to make sense of it all. You can come back with your clever quips and whatever Damon has to say, Reverend. There are real pains that have been caused by what your brood did. You may not have done it yourself, but your hands aren't clean. I'm not one of your chosen people to be ascended. I'm just me. I'm a goblin. I've never really mattered much. And I'm not one of the people that you picked to go on this excursion yourself. Try to right all the wrongs in the world, no matter what that's gonna cost them. So I'm not gonna walk away. What I'm gonna do is help, but I'm not doing it for you.
That is a very fair and astute observation. And I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that or give it some fancy phrase. My siblings and I did terrible, terrible things. And we thought we were right in doing them. We while I have to say I was more of the selfish kind, two of my brothers, they did it for the right reasons, and unfortunately the rest of us corrupted what had happened. They did try to paint their peace and their justice and their righteousness as they were good. The rest of us, not so much. Because the least of us were selfish, as I said. The others were terrible. But regardless of that, I don't know anyone that is free of making mistakes. You say that I'm like some sort of god. I wish I had that power to undo the things that had happened. And the mess that is here is not something that I created on that end of things. And yet here I am trying to do everything I can to prevent it from damaging things further, to bring an end to this terrible situation. But I tell you what, since you seem so convinced that I haven't paid my dues for what's happened, let me give you a gift before I go.
I don't want anything from you.
And he flicks this little firefly thing, spins and tumbles through the air, and as it strikes you here, Skeech's eyes kind of roll back up into his head. And this is where we're going to end the episode this week. So do come see us next week as we continue on with our adventures here in the doomed city of Granitegard. We hope you have yourself an absolutely wonderful week, and we'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm gonna get brainwashed by a dragon.
You're gonna know how to read Spanish.